everyone? This is Matthew Ritter, the king of bros. I just want to say, if you ain't listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast, bro, you're missing out. The king listens, and you need to too, bro. Olympic hero Kurt Angle. Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Yo, listen, this is the best wrestler alive, Platinum Max, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hey everybody, Eric Bischoff here, and you are listening to We Are Wrestling podcast. This is the original Illuminati, and you're watching and listening to We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling podcast. Check them out, man.
Stay tuned, listen to the podcast. Best one, Donnie might teach you a thing or two.
We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling.
All right, Chris Jericho here, and we're going to listen to and watch We Are Wrestling.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Mavis. And the facts are, I steal all my information from right here. We Are Wrestling.
Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me why. 'Cause everywhere I go,
the grind is real. What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, your prediction champion, the best one, Donnie here, back with a brand new episode of the We Are Wrestling podcast. Not sure if I'm going to have co-hosts tonight or not. We'll find out because we're live and you already know what that means. Anything can happen. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're listening to this episode, wherever you get your podcast, please leave us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode. And of course, give us a follow. Really helps with the algorithm. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, over on the YouTube channel where you get the best professional wrestling content, live episodes of the We Are Wrestling podcast every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. You get live watch-alongs for all the WWE PLEs, AEW pay-per-views, reactions, wrestling content, vlogs, and so much more. And if you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, videos, and live streams be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know the grind is real. And we got some maniacs here hanging out in the live chat. Let's show some love. We got Destry in here. We got Old School Phil, #1 contender for that Thunder Championship. We also have here Nate here. Hi, Donnie. How you feel about Lyra's heel turn? Oh, I'm going to be talking about that in our recap this week. Very, very happy with the move. And do you want to heel Becky or Lyra? I don't want Valkyria to team up with anybody. I want her to go back for the championship. We got Josh Toy Show in here. What is going on? What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are all having yourselves a fantastic week. Hopefully it's better than the way my week's been. But we're here live on a Thursday night for the We Are Wrestling podcast. And you know what they say, the show must go on. Danny Huckins was supposed to be here with me. Not sure what's going on, but I'm here. So we're gonna get the show on a roll. Which I do want to say, I do appreciate a lot of you We Are Wrestling Maniacs who have gone over to my DBTV channel where I've been doing a lot of Brooklyn Net basketball content. Over there, I used to be full-time until I started going hardcore with the wrestling stuff. But I've been posting some content on there within the last week, and you guys have been showing a lot of love, especially in the NBA draft as well. With that live stream being my first one. Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support, even on the toy page, even here with We Are Wrestling. Amen to that. Absolutely, man. Show always must go on, but we're here and we're going to do what we got to do. This week is one of the tougher weeks for me because a lot of things in my personal life, just not a good week, but we're keeping our head up, and doing this podcast really gets me through it. You guys supporting me, whether it's here on We Are Wrestling or on DBTV or on Best One Donnie, or just following me on my social media pages, seeing me at conventions and events, really makes it all worth it at the end of the day. But we're going to start the show off like we always do with our We Are Wrestling Power of the Poll, where every week in our We Are Wrestling YouTube channel community tab, we give you guys 1 week to vote on a wrestling-related topic. And this week, we are going to be talking... Oh, look at that. We got a guest here. Hey! Wow, somebody decided to show up with me.
That's all right. The cooler Dan's here anyways. So what's going on, Donnie? What's going on, chat? What's up?
All right. Well, I'm letting Danny know he doesn't need to come now. Oh, what a week it's been, Dan Eddie. What a week it's been.
Oh, I've had a morning, so I'm glad to be on here.
I've had quite a day as well.
How are you, man? How are you doing?
I'm holding up, man. I'm holding up in here. Honestly,
Cool.
it would
What's
be
up,
a lot
Josh?
worse if my Nets totally fucked up that 6th pick, but we didn't. So honestly, that's helped me get through the week.
I was kind of telling you in your live stream chat that night. I'm interested to see what Milwaukee does with those 2 picks. I'm not familiar with either Burries or tall dude, Tennessee. Emmett.
Yep, Nate.
Nate Emmett, Nick Emmett, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with really at all, but I feel like I know it's a wrestling stream. Sorry guys, being down your sports guys to begin with. I apologize if you guys don't know who
Which,
I'm
if you guys
talking
want to get, hey, if you guys want to get more sport content, go over to DBTV because I've been posting on there.
Yeah.
But now
And
that Dan
honestly-
Eddie, you're here.
Honestly, Donnie, if you ever need another sports guy to talk to, we can do live streams there too.
Hell yeah, man!
Watch-alongs.
I plan on doing a lot of cool stuff on there pretty soon. So
I think the
we'll have
Rams
more
actually
updates
play
on
the
that.
Packers actually. Oh yeah, the Rams play the Packers Christmas Eve.
Ooh,
Or-
okay.
Yeah, something like that. I think Chris. Yeah. Anyways.
All
figure
right,
it out
well,
later.
getting back into the program, we got our Power of the Poll, and we asked you guys this week the best WWE cinematic match, and here are the results. Here it is. We have the Boneyard match with 71%.
Oh, yeah.
While 17% picked the Firefly Funhouse, John Cena and Bray Wyatt, while 9% picked the Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy Ultimate Deletion match, and only 3% picked the Money in the Bank. Do we agree with this week's Power of the Poll?
I do agree because honestly, once I heard the question, I immediately thought of the AJ Styles and Undertaker match. And to be quite honest, I know, like, with all due respect with the matches within themselves, I completely forgot about Otis winning the Money in the Bank, and the whole Bray Wyatt and the Hardys
Ultimate
interaction.
Deletion match.
Yeah, so I kind of forgot about that. It was just kind of erased in my head. So I kind of agree. The margins, even then, like I'm usually a case, like I'm usually a persnickety on the amount of margins. You know, like, okay, well, this guy won, but you know the margins should be a little closer. But honestly, I think they blew it out of the water. It was very accurate. Charlotte, what's up, Charlotte?
Yeah, what's going on, Charlotte? One of the Rageaholics in here in the We Are Wrestling live chat. Appreciate you
Hello,
stopping
mate.
in. I absolutely agree with this one. I love the Boneyard match. I thought it was the perfect last match for The Undertaker. It
Yes.
sucks, like, the circumstances, because, of course, like, this is when, like, the whole world got shut down when this match happened and the Firefly Funhouse. But I just
Yeah.
really enjoyed the Boneyard match. The Firefly Funhouse, like, as much as I love Bray, I love Cena, I just couldn't get into it. I wasn't a fan of it. But I do think the Boneyard match, they got it right. I understand why Firefly Funhouse got second place, but I do think the Boneyard easily got the win here. So, like, I can't even be mad. Can't even argue.
Yeah. I really had nothing else to add. I did like the John Cena and Bray Wyatt, and I love Bray Wyatt to death. Rest in peace. Yeah. Honestly, a lot of his outside of when he was dealing with Randy Orton, I believe it was, with Alexa Bliss involved, I really can't get behind a lot of Bray Wyatt matches. And that's not saying like he's a terrible wrestler. And I know like he had, all these different kinds of characters, like he's, really hardworking. I'm not saying anything against that. It's just a lot of the more memorable were a lot of times with other people, like Randy Orton, for example, and Alexa Bliss, or there was John Cena, but then there was also like the Hardys, like there was more people involved than who he was facing. You know what I mean?
I really did like the original Bray Wyatt character a lot more than the Fiend. I did love the Fiend at times, but it was just very hard for them to book, because like if you wanted him to lose, like you had to have like Seth Rollins give him like 100 curve stomps, and like some of like the lighting and stuff like would maybe like lose interest. So like I kind of understand where you're coming from. Like I did enjoy the Cena and Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania 30 a lot more than the Firefly Funhouse, but I know it was like all like a story that they were trying to tell. Some people it's their cup of tea, others it's not, but it's not taken away from the talent.
And also you gotta kind of compare the two eras between now and the whole 2020 COVID era. Back then, they were more focused on the storylines rather than the wrestling, and it was sort of a way for people to distract themselves from what's going on in the world. And a lot of times, fans become wrestling fans when they are like hooked in. Like they catch along with the storylines, and the wrestling aspect of it all in general is like it's there. Like we're watching them perform in the ring, but at the same time, like people want to be entertained, and I think that was ironically and sadly true-ish, like sadly true being said, like that was one of the more entertaining years / eras. And it's crazy to fathom the thought that they've gone complete opposite of that nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying.
And one more point, sorry. And even then there was more long-term booking back then too as well. So I can't think of an example, but I remember there was like, oh yeah, that happened.
That is true. Angelo here makes a good point too. At first, I didn't understand the cinematic John Cena versus Bray Wyatt match, but I grew to love it over time because it's just nostalgic.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And it's
like 5 years since then too. So
it's the kind of stuff that we like are grasping at nowadays. So I can understand people getting behind this question a lot too, Donnie.
And especially with like Bray not being here, when you do look back and you watch it from that perspective, it is a piece of art. Like maybe in the moment I didn't enjoy it, but it will always be there for me if I want to rewatch it and go back in the time. And there was a lot of cool Easter eggs in there. There was a lot of cool storytelling involved. I just preferred the Boneyard match over it because I thought it was the perfect way to retire Taker.
It was in his own backyard too. That was the cool part.
That was the cool part. But getting into next week's Pump Power of the Poll, you can cast your vote now because it is 4th of July. So we wanted to ask you guys, who has the best WWE entrance pyro? And the 4 options you get are Batista, the rated R superstar Edge, Goldberg, and Kane. So go cast your vote. Let your voice be heard. The vote will end Thursday morning. So you have quite some time to rewatch some of these fireworks shows. And Pyro,
Yeah.
of course, because Kane is involved.
On July 2nd, I believe it is.
Yep, next Thursday will be July 2nd. So we'll be celebrating
That's
the 4th a
crazy.
couple days early.
Sorry, July, dude. Sorry, July.
I know, the summer's going by way too quick. Well, a couple things to plug and advertise. We got the brand new We Are Wrestling is Unreal shirts available now on ProWrestlingTees.com with a bunch of other great We Are Wrestling designs. It's the summertime. Get outside. Go wear a We Are Wrestling shirt. Represent. You can go to Pro Wrestling Tees. The link is down in the description box below. And these Unreal shirts are available now. Also, we do have a couple snackable content you can watch on the channel. We have the Beyond Wrestling Break the Walls Down vlog. My first time going to a Beyond show. Great vlog.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, the Wrestling Classic coming to Springfield, Mass. on Saturday, October 24th. And we got 2 announcements so far. And this will be taking place at the Zombie Hideout on Cooley Street in Springfield, Mass. We have TNA Knockout Hall of Famer Gail Kim and WWE
Lovely Gail
ring
Kim,
announcer
like Gail
Lillian
Kim.
Garcia. So there's
And
the
the
2
goat.
headliners to start off the Wrestling Classic. Unfortunately, we don't have any announcements tonight, but hopefully next week we'll get one. So if you are looking to meet some wrestlers, come out on Saturday, October 24th, Springfield, Mass. And then, of
I wouldn't
course, the
mind meeting Lillian Garcia.
Blitzkrieg Luau is taking place this Saturday. So if you can't make it to Springfield, Mass, come on and watch it on IWTV. But it's going to be taking place at Tower Square in Springfield, Mass. And we have quite the card for the Luau. Charles Mason will be defending his Bedlam Championship against Bear Bronson, TNA Tag Champ. We also have fans bring the pool toys match. We got a intergender 6-man woman tag match that's taking place. And then, of course, we have the mother of all scrambles taking place as well. So many talented wrestlers here that are going to be a part of this. We might as well keep the screen up. So we do have Izzy, Bailey's biggest fan. We got a big man named Ox. We have Nick and Dante Drago. They're a part of the tag team. We got Jeremy Leary, the man who runs Blitzkrieg. We have Amani LeVay. We also have Jeremiah. We got Jared. Wow, I'm doing really bad with pronouncing these names. Hope I don't get in trouble. Logan
Sorry, hard to
Black,
work today.
Andy Brown. And we have so much talent that have been announced for the Mother of All Scramble match that's taken place. And it's pretty much basically a Royal Rumble, and the winner of this match will get a shot at the Bedlam Championship whenever they want. So they basically get like a Money in the Bank contract in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
But we do have some breaking news here. I just have to pull the graphic up real quick. I just got this message here because I don't even think. So Blitzkrieg Pro just sent me this, and we have an entrant that's going to be entering the Mother of All Scramble matches this Saturday. And this is some breaking news because Blitzkrieg hasn't even announced it, but we're going to be the first ones to do it. 50 now, baby, is entering the Mother of All Scrambles.
Let's go, dude.
Let's freaking go.
It's exciting.
So there's a lot to look forward to, man, with the Blitzkrieg Luau, the verdict going for the tag titles. We also have a triple threat match for the Jensen Championship. And we even have a fatal 4-way with Effie, TJ Crawford, Javi, and a mystery opponent. So we'll find out who that is this Saturday. And then, of course, Sammy Diaz, our boy, is going against TNA star Rich Swann. So there's a lot to look forward to this Saturday for the Blitzkrieg Luau.
That's exciting. That is a lot happening in that one spot. So I'm excited for you guys. That's really cool.
And you are a little far away, Dan Eddie. I know you can't make it, unfortunately, this time.
Yeah.
But you could watch it on IWTV for only $9.99.
I will have to. I'll pull up to my
I'll
TV.
send you the link. I got you.
Sweet.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's get into the We Are Wrestling TV recap. It's time for the We Are Wrestling Weekly TV recap. Dan Eddie, there's a lot of wrestling that is on TV. Do you have the
There
time
is.
to watch all of it? And I'm
Nope.
not talking just WWE.
I don't.
Well,
honestly,
I don't either.
there's honestly a day of the week where there's a wrestling event going on, and I've been watching a lot of other sports as well, kind of going back and forth. So,
Well, I don't have a lot of time either to watch the wrestling every week. But thanks to the We Are Wrestling podcast, we have a segment called the We Are Wrestling TV Recap. This is where we talk about the highlights that are happening on wrestling TV. So let's get into it with our first TV recap this week. On SmackDown, Los Garza threatened Danhausen, and Matt Cardona came to his aid. Afterwards, Matt Cardona got electrocuted, teasing a possible Zack Ryder return. Would you like to see Zack Ryder return?
oh no, I didn't see that part. I saw the part where he was arguing with Garza and on them. I didn't see that part with Matt Cardona. Honestly, I don't want to see Zack Ryder return. I never really liked the character. I was always more of a Matt Cardona, and when I sometimes when I research for stuff that we're going to talk about in the podcast, I watch Matt Cardona in the at the indies scene, and then I look at old highlights of Zack Ryder in the WWE, and honestly, they made the right choice when Matt Cardona returned, and then they kind of teased Zack Ryder, but then they switched the name on the Titantron saying
cool.
Matt Cardona. It's sort of like when they did it with Powerhouse Hobbs, but now it's like Royce Keys. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I don't want to see Zack Ryder return because what are they going to do with the character? Like they've struck gold with Danhausen. They have a Hall of Famer in the Miz. They had a chance to push Kit Wilson, and they pretty much gave up on that. He's really just a side character now. So I don't know what they're going to do with Zack Ryder joining the crew because they're just going to have a bunch of, sort of wannabes. One was a wannabe, or for lack of a better term, was somebody special. Now he's just kind of doing a lot of mid-card scene shenanigans. I'm talking about The Miz. So when Zack Ryder returns, I don't know what they're going to do with him. And that's the thing, too, with WWE in 2026, along with, you can argue, the last couple of years where there's no potential great long-term booking. Like the hopium is at a high, but the quality of service is at a very low.
Yeah, like they are very directionless a lot of the times. I feel like, and the storylines are very inconsistent.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona fan. So from that perspective, I am only okay with this happening is if they go in a direction that I don't think they're going to do. So here's what I would do. But before I share what I'm going to do, I don't like the idea of him going back to Zack Ryder full time because he was over with the crowd. He did everything you're supposed to do to get over in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have the machine behind him. He had to go out and create vlogs every week on a show called Z True Long Island Story that he would post to his YouTube channel. WWE didn't edit these vlogs. WWE didn't put any of this stuff together. This was all Matt Cardona that came up with all of this. He got himself over to the point where in Madison Square Garden, when The Rock and Cena were teaming up to go against R-Truth and The Miz, when The Rock took the microphone to send the fans home happy, the crowd was yelling, "We want Ryder." And then, of course, going into the next pay-per-view, he beats Ziggler for the United States title. And then they just completely start burying him. So it's like with Zack Ryder, I don't want to see the same thing happen again and again, because when he got released by WWE the first time, he went out and he proved himself that he could be a guy that you could build around. And I was hoping that this time around, coming back as Matt Cardona, they were going to do that. And I thought by now, maybe we would get a possible heel turn. but like we just haven't gotten anything. Like, yes, he's having competitive matches, but he's not really picking up any wins, and he's not really doing anything that's meaningful. So
sorry, go ahead.
if they are going to do something with Ryder, do something.
So
Don't waste my time.
It's funny how you bring up the amount of wins here, and kind of stall for like 2 more minutes, Donnie. I was working on a quick stat.
Oh, you're good. So I'll just share my scenario then. The only way I'm okay with him coming out as Zack Ryder is if it's going to be a 2 to 3 week thing. He teams with Danhausen, and then you know what happens after 2 to 3 weeks? He turns on Danhausen. And the whole time, the Zack Ryder thing, getting electrocuted, was all an act so that we could get the real heel Cardona. And I think that would be a great way to have the crowd turn on him, is if he goes after a fan favorite like Danhausen. And for a couple weeks, we get the fun little old Zack Ryder. He can come out with the headband. He can come out doing the woo, woo, woo thing. And I think it'd be a perfect way to transition him from being a face to a heel.
So what I was going to point out, and I'm glad you brought up his amount of wins in matches, and this year's kind of skewed because obviously it hasn't ended yet. It's only June. So he's only had 15 matches this year. But like 2025, 78, 2024, 45, 83, 71, 58. You want to know how many matches that he's won? Or no, I'm sorry. Hold on. I had the different stat. In the last 6 years, he's lost 195 of those matches, which is roughly averaging 32.5 matches a year. So can you imagine
this
32
year?
Matches? This year he's only did 15.
Okay, but out of 15 matches, how many has he like win, like loss?
Out of 15 matches, he's only won 4.
See, like that. When you're bringing somebody back, like they shouldn't be losing. They shouldn't be losing that many matches. Like I know he's not jobbing out like he did the first time in WWE, but still, like I want them to do something with him. So like with Zack Ryder coming back, I'm all for it if we just do it for a couple weeks and he turns on Danhausen and then he goes back to being heel Matt Cardona. That's the only way I'm okay with this happening. Other than that, I'm just, man, like I want some direction with him.
So out of 350 matches in the last 6 years he's lost 195 of them. So if you add them all up since, basically 2020, I mean, he's come out roughly 50%. But still.
But also, Angelo, you make a good point here. It's because he's here to put new talent over like Trick. That is true.
Yeah. So he's lost 56% of his matches in the last 6 years.
I think WWE sees the Cardona character isn't going anywhere, but that's also their fault for how they use him.
And I was going to bring that up too, Angelo. Thank you for putting that in the chat, because obviously a lot of the stuff that the wrestlers are dealing with these days is because of either Triple H's booking or TKO. So
we'll have to wait and see what happens with this Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder crisis. I just hope that it leads to a heel turn. He attacks Danhausen like as Zack Ryder after a couple weeks, and then we get a serious heel Matt Cardona. Because if he attacks Danhausen, the amount of boos that he is going to get, that's where we're gonna really start to build a heel run with Cardona.
Yeah.
So I think pair him up with Danhausen for the time being, and then when the timing is right, have him turn on him.
Well, and honestly, building off of that, if we're fancy booking here, if Zack Ryder / Matt Cardona is going to attack Danhausen, why not have The Miz or Kit Wilson back him up? And first Danhausen will uncurse them. And so have one of them to back up Danhausen, and then it will, become a tag team match or some sort. Zack Ryder can get his own partner, but
hey, maybe Miz finally becomes a babyface and he teams up with Danhausen.
Maybe they're
wanting him to be his mentor.
They're probably seeing what we're seeing too, is because, since the whole New York Knicks thing, Danhausen has been kind of, for lack of a better term, I hate to say it, kind of stale. But the segments backstage are like comedy gold. But in terms of like the Danhausen character in general, it's just like him working in his lab. There needs to be some sort of shakeup.
We do need to do, you're right. We do need to get him in the ring more. We need to kind of let it translate into the arena. I don't mind having the backstage segment stuff, but it can't just be that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. All right. Well, let's move on now to our next recap here. This one's a quick AEW one. I know you weren't supposed to be here this week, so you probably didn't do the research on this, but Maya World has been making some waves in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. World pulled an upset over Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena. So at Forbidden Door now, it's going to be World versus Mercedes Moné.
Well, first of all, how dare they disrespect Athena like that, aka Ember Moon, aka please come back to WWE. I'm just as shocked as you are, because a lot of times AEW goes with the big names for like these sort of titles, like the Owen Hart title, and Mercedes Moné made the glorious return, but we already knew, no pun intended, WWE glorious. But when Mercedes Moné came back, we just kind of knew that she was going to be put right back into the title scene and be in the finals for it. So they kind of botched the opportunity to have Athena versus Mercedes Moné, you know?
Yeah, on like a pay-per-view scale. Because they did do it on like Dynamite before, but like on a pay-per-view, especially with the stakes being like the Owen Hart Cup final, that's kind of where I stand with it. Because don't get me wrong, Maya World, she has been doing a great job, like pulling these upsets. Like she's been a great like underdog, and she definitely has a lot of potential. And of course, Tony Khan does see it, but I do think that it is still a little too soon to just automatically, you don't do anything with her and then you throw her in this tournament. She's pulling upsets left and right. For her to go to the finals against Moné, maybe this is their way of trying to get more eyes on her, putting her like on a bigger stage, like a pay-per-view match against one of the best women wrestlers in Moné. But at the same time, like this is also taking away a lot of credibility to Theta, who has held that Ring of Honor Women's Championship for over 1,000 days.
So my mind, being the IWC person as I am, my mind immediately went to, well, what's going on with Athena? If something wrong with her contract, or is she thinking about leaving, or what? So I looked up and say like contract expiration date. I haven't been finding anything. It's not publicly known. So I was trying to, beat the clock, where all of a sudden next few days or so, these wrestling news sources come out like, oh, the AEW star may be coming to WWE or something like that. But I haven't been able to find anything like that. But I'm just kind of curious of where AEW is going with it. But
that's what I'm curious too, because with Maya World, that could be the case. Like maybe she does pull the upset over Moné and she goes against Tekla for the championship at All In.
At this point, why not?
Tekla's a heel. Moné is a heel. So I don't think we're going to get a heel versus heel. So maybe World does get pulled the upset. But then again, at the same time, your biggest show, you want to have the best of the best. Tekla and Moné are the best of the best that AEW does have to offer.
Shanti Wilson Stevenson. It's a cool name.
But I don't know. I don't like this for Athena, though.
I don't either. But we'll see.
We will have to wait and see what happens. But let's move on now to some Monday Night Raw recaps, because Raw had a lot of things that happened that's outside our Night of Champions predictions, which will be our main event for today's episode. But we do have quite some stuff to talk about for Monday Night Raw. So
very juicy stuff.
At Raw, Lyra Valkyria has officially turned on Bayley, officially turning heel. What's your thoughts on this?
About fucking time. I was growing stale of the entire women's tag team division, and a lot of it had to deal with, there are so many single stars that are like part of tag teams, like, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, Valara Valkyria and Bayley, and I feel like there's one other big one I'm missing. But anyways, maybe Lash Legend, Nia Jax, I don't know. But
Alexa Bliss, Charlotte.
Yeah, I mentioned them, but what was I getting at? There needs to be something shaken up, and I think WWE was starting to see like there needs to be more competition. And I think part of it had to deal with the injuries that had been going on because now Rhea's been gone. Bianca was injured and now she's pregnant. So hopefully that's going well with her behind the scenes as well. I just think that they needed a fresh start in terms of the championship seat. There needed to be something else going on with these tag teams because a lot of them aren't formal tag teams. If you ask me, if you look at it, there's not a lot of like hands down tag team duos in either the men's or women's division. So
just parent random people up
something.
that don't have TV time.
Exactly. R-Truth and Damian Priest, for example. Like Damian Priest was a main card attraction just within the last couple of years, last year and a half even. So, anyways, it's just Lyra Valkyria needs her push. They are. When is she coming into the main roster? Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was about 2 years ago.
So they're about 2 years too late. Exactly. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because we were going somewhere with her until Becky Lynch became Becky Hogan and beat her. Like, I don't buy any of the crap that she was saying on Real putting over other talent because with Valkyria, she was the Intercontinental Champion and she beat her twice. And then Valkyria went down the card, started teaming with Bayley, who they really don't have any direction for quite a while. I'm happy that they finally did something right. Because Valkyria, she needs a push. She is one of my favorite women wrestlers that WWE has. And honestly, I'm excited to see what she could do as a villain, as a heel.
I wasn't familiar.
Get a more aggressive side.
So apparently, what I've been hearing was she was a heel during her NXT days. I don't remember. I don't think I watched her much.
I don't remember
NXT.
too much of that because I think AEW is going head to head with them, and I refuse to watch.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think they sort of, finally, emphasis the word finally, see what they had in Lyra Valkyria. Because like you said, she had the Intercontinental Championship and looked at it. She had it for 145 days, which is respectable. But then again, she was the women's tag team with Becky Lynch for a day. Yeah, 1 day. And yeah.
So pointless.
But then she lost the IC title in June of last year. So looks like June 7th, 2025. So she hasn't been really doing shit like at all in terms of progressing her career. Some feuds here and there with Bayley and somewhat with Becky. But at the same time, like they need to push her. And I'm going to mention another wrestler, but not until later on, but that definitely needs a push. So make sure to check out our main event coming up because then that's where I'm going to mention them.
And that will be our Night of Champion predictions. But
yes, to give you a clue.
I just think that this needed to happen. Hopefully, with like the feud that we're going to probably get with the two for the next couple weeks, Bayley puts over Valkyria. I don't see why that doesn't happen. And I wonder what direction they're going to go in with Valkyria. Are we going to go after a world champion? Or are we going to go back for like maybe the United States? Or maybe she wants to go after that Intercontinental again. Maybe she'll be the one to take the title off of Ruka and we get a program there. But I hope that like whatever happens with Valkyria creatively, we progress her character work and we get her to that next level because she was getting there and she didn't need to lose the championship to Becky.
Maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't she part of the Night of Champions tournament? The women's?
She was, yes.
Maybe this is a way of seeing like, oh, we fucked up and we need to give Lyra a push because I don't see her winning Money in the Bank. Maybe if this character or this kind of trend continues and then all of a sudden the Money in the Bank's here and she needs this. Because I remember it was last year, Naomi won the Money in the Bank and she was a heel. until she cashed it in. So maybe they're doing the same thing with Lyra, because if you haven't noticed, Donnie, WWE is repeating itself over and over and over again, because we get the Bloodline 2.0, we got the whole, women's tag teams, they're only pairing people together when it's, needs some more interest, and then they break them apart when they don't longer need them. But at the same time, I think Lyra needs a push of some kind. And to answer your question, honestly, I can see her going after any title. I can see her going up to bat with Rhea Ripley, to be quite honest. And maybe she loses maybe the first 2 matches or whatever. But I can see her giving Rhea Ripley a hard time. What title I think she should go as after is the United States title, because A, she's already had the IC title, and 2, the United States champion needs more competition, because they're doing this Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill feud. And yes, I do like Jade Cargill in the title scene regardless, but they did this feud all damn time last year. So in terms of what I think they should do is have Tiffany Stratton keep the title for a little longer, little tease for my predictions, but I think Lyra should go after the United States title. That'd be a great match.
We got one of our co-hosts here, so it's going to be a
3-person episode.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Danny here. I'm a little bit late. I had to do the whole parenting thing and do some stuff around the house or whatever, and wait for my wife to get home. But I'm here. It's okay to be fashionably late sometimes. You know what I mean? At least I show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Hey, Donnie, just for old time's sake, can you switch me and Danny? Just for old time's sake.
Yeah, there
we go. All right.
That works. Cool. We'll let Danny be the center of attention. Well, before we move on to our next recap, Danny, I would love to hear your thoughts on the heel turn with Valkyria turning on Bayley.
Oh, I actually really dug it. Like, that was one of the only things about Monday Night Raw that I really gravitated towards or whatever. I've been a big fan of Lyra, since she came to the main roster or whatever. There was just something about her. Like, she's got charisma. She's got her entrance is badass. Like, she's got the athleticism or whatever. Like, if you give this woman a story to tell, which is what I'm hoping this turns into, I mean, sky's the limit, man. You know what I mean? Give her the IC title, put her on SmackDown eventually, give her the US title. I would love to see her feud against somebody like Chelsea Green, maybe. I think that'd be really fun for them to get into or whatever. But I've been a big fan of Lyra, and I felt like this was coming over the last couple of weeks or whatever, because we've seen backstage segments between Lyra and Bayley, and Lyra just sort of being standoffish a little bit, and at first I thought it was gonna be Bayley that turned on Lyra, but I'm so glad that it was Lyra that turned on Bayley.
I'm so glad it was as well, because I do think she needs a character change, and I really do think everything you said is spot on. That's how I felt with Lyra, because not only does she have a lot of potential when it comes to the character work, but also her in-ring work backs up everything that we get to see with her. The presentation's there, everything about her screams potential. And I really hope with the direction that we're going in with her, we finally do something.
Yeah, I mean, that answers my next question, because I was going to bring it, throw it back to you guys. Would you rather have Bayley finally turn heel instead of Lyra? But I guess Lyra will be the better option.
We want Bayley at AEW. I want her out of WWE. She has done everything that she could do in the WWE. She's a first-class woman Hall of Famer. Get her the fuck out and have her go to AEW.
Trying to continue the podcast.
Give me 5-star classics with Mercedes Monday.
And I kind of feel like that's the direction that we're ultimately going to get to, because I heard that her contract is going to be up soon. She did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, I think 2 years ago. It was the WrestleMania that she was supposed to be in, and then she ended up getting taken out and replaced, whatever. And Chris asked her, was how do you feel about that? And she was like, I'm upset, but I'm also not going to go against the company and whatever they decide to do. And then she did bring up the fact that her contract is going to be expiring very soon, and she's not sure if she was going to re-sign with the company or not. So it's going to be interesting over the next couple of months to see which direction she goes.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But moving on now, we're gonna switch the script here a little bit and go into AAA, and then we're gonna go back to Raw. Since Daddy, you are here, let's get into AAA because Undertaker man has been cooking up, and apparently we got a new faction in AAA who just took out El Grande Americano. What was your thoughts on this?
I mean, I watched AAA through clips. The first real legit show that I watched from AAA, well, not the first one, but maybe like the second or third was the Mask versus Mask match. So, a lot of things that happen on those shows I'm not that familiar with. But Undertaker has been cooking up. I might have to. I can't watch tape shows and shows that are only an hour. I don't know. I didn't even watch NXT Black and Gold when it was an hour. You know what I mean? I'm just weird like that as far as like my fandom goes. But I think one of the guys in this new faction, whatever, the guy in the back behind Berto with like the fucking like the red bandana, whatever. I believe he was he was on a tag team in NXT recently.
Yes.
They were like a knockoff of like GTA characters or whatever. I think Jada Parker used to be with them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and also Daga, he used to be in a relationship with Tessa Blanchard. He's the other guy that we didn't see in NXT or main roster.
Yeah, OTM. So I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I love the fact that Garza and Berto are in this faction, whatever. They haven't really been utilized, and like they are phenomenal talent, but they have not been utilized on SmackDown, as part of like the tag team division. WWE, they need to just get rid of the brand split and, merge the tag team divisions, because having fucking 3 tag teams on Monday Night Raw and then fucking 2 on SmackDown is not really, appointment television, if you know what I mean.
Oh, if I was Berto and Garza, I would tell WWE Creative to fuck off, and I want to just be on AAA.
Did you hear?
I do think that there's a lot of potential with this faction, though. I did like the segment that we got.
Did you hear what Garza said on Twitter? I want to say it was like 3 months ago, maybe. It was around WrestleMania. Somebody tweeted at him and was like, why don't you just tell WWE to fuck off and, go somewhere else or whatever and work or whatever. And he pretty much pointed out the obvious. I'm getting paid very well. I have a family. I have children. I need to do what I got to do. Regardless if I'm being used or not, I'm making income, and that's what I need to do. So, I mean, props to him. Like, he knows that he needs to be treated better as far as the talent or whatever, but he's doing what he feels is necessary for his family. You know what I mean?
Hey, you got to do what's best for your family, and it's understandable. Like, I respect that, like, he didn't sugarcoat nothing, because a lot of wrestlers will do that, and they'll come up with 99 excuses. So I respect that, like, he, like, kind of just, like, bit the bullet and just, like, said what was honest, really. But I do like the potential that we do have here, and I love everything they've done with Chad Gable and even El Grande Americano since that Mask versus Mask match.
Oh yeah, fucking El Grande Americano went from fucking like this random comedy gimmick that was Chad Gable, and now it's fucking Ludwig Kaiser, and he's like the fucking saint of Lucha Libre. It's kind of crazy the way like life works out.
It's crazy. And also, Angelo here points out basically what people are saying in this group is AAA's version of Bullet Club.
I can see something like that.
They kind of got that vibe to them. I see it a little bit. But let's hope that like this does progress and makes the shows.
What does their name mean? Because I know it's like a Spanish name or whatever, but does anybody have like a definition of what it means?
I am not going to try pronouncing
Perros del Mal or whatever.
I was just about to tell you guys. It's Dogs of Evil in Spanish. Perros del Mal.
Oh, Dogs of Evil.
Dogs of Evil.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's a dope name.
It's sick. All right, well, getting back into the Raw program. At Raw, the Street Profits defeated Braun Breaker and Austin Theory to become 5-time tag team champions. What's your thoughts on this?
I gotta be 100% honest, man. I did not think it was gonna happen. That's another thing on Raw that I really enjoyed, because like you always assume that because Breaker has a big match coming up this Saturday. And everybody still assumes that Rollins is gonna win. But now I'm not so sure because Rollins cost them the tag team titles essentially. So, like, is Rollins legitimately gonna win the cage match on Saturday? I don't know now. Because, like, the going thing is, if somebody loses a big match, or wins the big match or whatever, on that day, on like a Raw before a pay per view or whatever, then they're essentially going to be winning or losing at the pay per view. Now I'm not so sure. Everybody still assumes that Rollins is going to beat Breaker. But I did not think they were going to take the titles off of the division and put them on the Street Profits. I like what they're doing with Ford and Dawkins. I think they're both phenomenal talent, and WWE needs a team like them. You know what I mean? And can I just say, both the Street Profits, not just one over the other. I feel like if the time ever comes where they break up, they both have very high ceilings because they're both extremely talented. They're both extremely charismatic. They know how to talk. They know how to convey emotion in the ring, which is what you need. You know what I mean? So I'm extremely pleased and I'm extremely surprised. I did not think it was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised the Street Profits got it. But what's your thoughts, Dan?
I actually love it because, and Angela kind of pointed out to it in the chat. I didn't think that was quite the plan. And I was thinking the same thing. It wasn't quite the plan until Logan Paul got injured. And they just don't want to see the tag team title on Braun Breaker because I think they have future plans for him in terms of like singles wrestling. So, and then Bronson Reed's not back yet. They have no idea what to do with Austin Theory. I think it was sort of just a meh move when they even added him. So in terms of like putting the tag team titles on that broken faction as it is without Seth Rollins and now Bronson Reed and everybody's falling apart, getting injured. Logan Paul is currently injured. Probably won't wrestle till like the rest of the year, maybe. I think it was just time. And honestly, they shot themselves in the foot months ago when they got rid of a lot of talent with those most recent WWE releases. Because honestly, I think the Motor City Machine Guns, they were on SmackDown, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So they could have easily just moved them to Raw if they feel like this tag team division was in shambles. Now it was really in shambles, and they probably just did the best they can do and put the tag team titles on the team that is actually a tag team, not Damian Priest and R-Truth, not Austin Theory and or Logan Paul and Braun Breaker. They need a tag team for the titles. And I mean, that's the same thing for the women's division. I can get into that, but I won't.
They really don't care for the tag
team. They shot themselves in the foot, and then they are kind of patting themselves in the back, thinking they made a good move. No, you didn't. You just got back to where you started.
I kind of feel I almost feel like I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they go about doing it as far as like what's on television now that we're seeing. But like I legitimately almost feel like we need to have like a tag team match, title versus title, with both sets of tag team titles on the line, and that's how you can merge the tag team titles. And then that ultimately causes the tag team division, because we have one set of women's tag titles. They float between all three brands. Why can't the men's tag titles be the same way?
And
that way you have a legit division.
And it also is working too for the women because they have been showcased, I think, a lot more than the men when it comes to the tag team titles. But I do want to share my thoughts on Street Profits winning the titles. I'm happy for them. At least it's a real tag team that got the titles, but I'm tired of the narrative. I'm tired of hearing, oh my God, when's Montez going to go off on his own?
It's not happening.
Like, I'm just over that narrative at this point because I don't think
it'll happen
at
some point. It'll happen at some point. Every great tag team goes up on their own. The Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, the Usos, they all end up going off on their own. It's just all about the right time and place, because you don't want to do it too early, but you also don't want to do it too late. You know what I mean?
I like that, like the presentation though for the Street Profits is back to what was working with like the popularity, back with the old song. I like what they've been doing because they have been showcasing them backstage or wrestling in the ring. I do think that the plan probably was to have Logan in theory hold the titles for a while, but
Yeah.
obviously with Logan's injury, it makes sense why they would go in a different direction.
And I wanted to combine my thoughts and Danny's thoughts and just ask Danny, like, for the tag team titles to be, put together and have this kind of sort of like the King of the Ring tournament sort of way to figure out who will be the next champion. Do you think there's enough talent on both brands and both divisions to do that?
I
not
do.
Not with their fatal 4-way fucking method.
No,
Well, probably
but like
not that.
they,
no.
they released a lot of tag teams recently. You know what I mean? And
That's my point. Like I was gonna
the
get to
tag
that.
teams. I don't understand, bro. Like last summer, SmackDown probably had the best tag team division in the business, and they're
fucking cooking.
They had the TLC match at SummerSlam. Like, they it was so big to the point to where they had the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys sitting in front row watching the fucking match. Like, it was the SmackDown tag team division last summer was fucking red hot.
They did nothing.
I don't know what the fuck happened from then until now. But it's just like it does. You can't even. It's not even like the same show. It's not even the same. Like, what the fuck happened? You have Fraxium, who is arguably one of the best tag teams on the planet. Like, they're absolutely phenomenal at what they do. You have them doing nothing. They do backstage segments with fucking Johnny Gargano planking on a fucking road case. Like, you have Fraxium doing fucking singles matches in his hometown, whatever. Which I understand why. But, like, you have these tag teams, fucking use them. Like, it's not that fucking difficult. It's really not.
And
I don't understand it.
And a caveat to that is one of their true, like, tag teams that they used to have is now the tag team champions for To WRW is the War Raiders.
Oh, the War Raiders, bro. I have been a fan of them since NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I think it was 2018 or 2019. It was the War Raiders versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. My God, bro. When I tell you, if you guys have not seen that match, I encourage you. It's on the NXT Vault channel or whatever. I encourage you to watch that fucking match because your jaw will drop to the floor.
2019.
It is so good, bro. And I have been a fan of them ever since.
I wish, like, in the Performance Center that they would just start, like, creating new tag teams. I'm tired of just having these random pairs. And I just think that we do need to merge the championships. I know at first we thought that, like, we needed a brand split with the titles, but I think we're wrong with that because this division is dead. At this point, WWE just needs to get rid of both tag titles if they aren't going to put any stock into these tag teams.
Real quick, Donnie, what makes it interesting is not only are they merging the tag team titles again. What if they introduced an NXT tag team titles?
They already have
with it. Well,
they already have a tag team.
Damn it, I felt like I was But no, honestly, I think it was just something new and exciting, but they need more talent there anyway.
Here's my take on it, okay? Back to what I was saying when I said, like, they should just merge the tag team divisions. I think you should get rid of WWE needs to get into building the next big thing or whatever. Like they did with Brock Lesnar, like they did with The Rock, like they did with Roman Reigns or whatever. And now he's the tribal chief. Cody Rhodes just said that he has maybe another 6 years and he's going to be done wrestling. He said he doesn't want to be wrestling when his daughter's 10, 12 years old or whatever. Roman Reigns, how many more years does he have? Like, they need to start building the next thing. If they merge the tag team divisions, get rid of the NXT tag titles and have them float between all three brands, and it'll allow and it will give an excuse for them to bring up some NXT talent on TV occasion to go after the tag team titles or whatever. And that way the audience gets more familiar with the NXT talent.
I do agree with Jason here. WWE does suck so bad right now.
Pro wrestling sucks right now. There's really not one thing that
not AAA, but Yeah.
Yeah, AAA.
TNA is horrible. They fucking
Leave AAA out of it.
did like a mass release thing. Fucking AEW is the worst it's ever fucking been. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not even worth fucking watching or covering right now.
Donnie, he said it.
AEW is better than what WWE is doing right now, even though it's really
Not even close, bro.
Yeah, but it's not even a freaking dick measuring contest with them anyways, because like even AEW, like there's nothing that's like holy fucking shit right now in any wrestling. But if I had to pick between AEW and WWE, what I enjoy watching more right now, AEW blows WWE out of the fucking water. And I'm not including AAA and NXT because friggin' Undertaker, he's been cooking.
Yeah. I watched the AEW pay-per-views, and I watched Dynamite a couple weeks ago, whatever. And I like, if I'm gonna watch a show, I usually like to cover it on my channel. And like, Dynamite has been so fucking bad that like even content creators that fucking like are covering it or reviewing it or whatever are getting like a fraction of the views they normally get. Like nobody gives a fuck about AEW anything.
Yeah, I won't even be live for Forbidden Door. I'll be at TNA Slammiversary. I'll be there live watching it. But yeah, congratulations to the Street Profits on becoming 5-time champs. We got a lot of people here in the live chat, though. Let's read some of these comments before we get into our We Are Wrestling Weekly news and rumors. We got Kevin here. Hey, best one, Donnie. Let's go, Knicks. Eat shit. Can we just say wrestling 2026, not interesting, just boring 2 years ago. Wrestling was fun to watch. Well, last week's episode of the pod, we did have a whole topic about is pro wrestling boring in 2026. Definitely worth the watch. But
unrelated, fuck the Miami Heat.
Oh, you poor Milwaukee Bucks fan. All right.
I'll be leaving until October of next year. Okay, leave me alone.
Well, before we get into the We Are Wrestling Weekly news and rumors, we have a brand new championship that is debuting in the We Are Wrestling universe during SummerSlam, and that is the Thunder Championship. With that being said, let's get into the We Are Wrestling Weekly news and rumors, brought to you by the We Are Wrestling Thunder title. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the latest headliners, the rumors, the contracts, the controversy, who's pissed off this week, good booking, bad booking. It's time for the We Are Wrestling Weekly News and Rumors.
You fucking mark!
It's time for the We Are Wrestling Weekly News and Rumors.
You fucking mark.
I'll never get tired of that.
And we do have a brand new championship here that will be crowned during our SummerSlam live watch along, the We Are Wrestling Thunder Championship. Old School Phil versus Ricky Knows Best. Somebody's going to be walking away as the new Thunder champion. And we'll be, the next time that We Are Wrestling Predictions Champion, the main title, will be defended, will be during the SummerSlam Predictions, which will be happening in a couple months. But with that being said, let's get into the news and rumors. And we only have
You mean a couple weeks, bruh?
Well, the time is clicking. I think we got like a month. 1 month at least. All right, well, we only have 2 topics for our news and rumors because, of course, we do have our predictions for Night of Champions. And I do see the chat talking about TNA being meh. Let's talk about TNA. Well, we do have a TNA topic. So, TNA is looking for a developmental system. According to the BW Insider, TNA and Ohio Valley Wrestling are working towards an agreement that would see OVW become essentially a developmental system for TNA. That agreement is set to be signed very soon. What's your thoughts on TNA possibly having a partnership with OVW?
Go ahead, Dan.
I wasn't even listening, to be honest with you.
Hell yeah, we'll see you Saturday, David, at the Luau.
not only is he late, but he forgets the pecking order of things now.
Yeah.
I really can't comment on because I'm really not familiar with OVW. But if TNA is combining with another company in order to save, it just seems like they're doing the same thing that they did with WWE like a year or so ago. So I think they're kind of in shambles and showing it now. But if it brings more talent to the promotion, and people can get seen, and it's all about viewership. So if people are talking about it, or if they like the wrestlers that are added to TNA, I think this is sort of like a desperate move on their part. But if it works out, it works out, and we won't be talking about it a month or so from now. So
Yeah, I mean, OVW is legendary when it comes to pro wrestling. Like, they used to be the like the beginning system or whatever, and it bled over to WWE. Like Randy Orton, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, like all these massive names, Batista. They have all spent time in OVW or whatever. Obviously, in the mid 2000s or whatever, their partnership with WWE sort of lapsed, and OVW sort of been. I don't know how the fuck they're surviving, but somehow they have. You know what I mean? Al Snow is one of the head trainers down there.
Got to give props to Doug Basham and Al Snow.
hey,
Yeah.
in terms of the current roster, Mickey James is listed.
Well,
Mickey James is on OVW. I not say I don't watch OVW, so I don't really know.
She's on the
too
current
much.
roster too, so I don't know if she wrestled or not, but yeah, she's listed on the current roster.
Oh, that's awesome. Like somehow like OVW is synonymous with pro wrestling. Like, regardless of how big they are, like, they're almost as legendary as WWE is because of the amount of, mega stars or whatever that they have produced. They have obviously gone on and did big things in WWE. So that's really all I got to say. I mean, if TNA and OVW do have some kind of partnership, I'm wondering where that leaves the partnership between TNA and NXT, because as far as I know, the partnership's not over. They just sort of like took a little bit of a break, and they're going to get back onto it unless something happened in behind the scenes and we're just not aware of it. I have no idea. I'm interested in seeing what they do, but I don't really give a shit about OVW, to be perfectly honest. And I have a bad taste in my mouth after what happened a couple months ago with the whole referee and the seizure situation. Like, it's just, everybody that was in the ring that night, fuck them. So that's all I got to say.
I will say this. This benefits OVW more than it benefits TNA, if anything, because a lot of people have forgotten about OVW. Now, having that partnership with TNA, people will talk about it. So good for Al Snow, good for the roster, good for the team at OVW. But I don't see this doing anything for TNA. And here's why. TNA, the last probably 10 years, since a lot of the originals left and went on to WWE, TNA has struggled to create stars. The only two guys that have been loyal to their promotion, let's call it like it is, Eddie Edwards and Moose. Every guy that TNA has put stock into, they end up moving on to the WWE or AEW. For example, Jordan Grace. She was the face of the Knockouts division for years in TNA. But of course, WWE, she gets the bag, left TNA. Another good example, in the WWE, Joe Hendry. They put a lot of stock into him with TNA. He was getting viral with his theme, won the TNA World Championship. He ends up leaving, going to WWE. So how the fuck are you going to have a developmental system if you're just keeping your guys for a couple of years? You're afraid to pay people. You're afraid to freaking pay people. And then next thing you know, friggin' they get lost in the shuffle. And then they end up going to WWE or AEW. What is the point of having a developmental system?
I mean, to farm talent, that's the only reason why you have a developmental system, that's what this business is all about. WWE does it with TNA. they're they're sort of like the farmer system for WWE and stuff like that. So this is nothing new.
Yeah, no, it's nothing new, but it's like, why are you going to spend all this money on creating OVW as a developmental system just for your guys to be on TV for maybe 6 months to like a year because you're so cheap that you don't want to give them multiple year contracts, and then they're going to just go to AEW or WWE.
Yeah.
I think if TNA like wants to actually, like, because that's the problem with TNA right now. We don't have any of those staples. Like, nobody stays within that company for more than a couple years. Mike Santana, his contract is up in sometime in July, and we all know he's going to the WWE, and that's their TNA World Champion right now. The only reason why people are tuning into TNA and they're getting about 150 to 200,000 viewers a week is because they have the Hardys. And I hate to say that because I love the talent that TNA have, but the problem is that they're not keeping, like, there's no stability in TNA. The reason why I fell in love with it as a kid back in the OG days is because they had AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle, Sting, Jeff Jarrett. These guys were in TNA for more than a couple of years. So, of course, they're homegrown stars that were in TNA I could get behind. But I feel like in like TNA today, you can't really get behind them because when their contract is up, they're going to want better benefits. They're going to want better opportunities. And AEW and WWE present that.
Yeah, it's 100% true,
And Donnie, I think you hit the nail on
waste.
the head when you said that OVW has more to benefit with this partnership than TNA does. I won't be surprised if OVW has more publicity and kind of starts overtaking TNA at this point because TNA doesn't have any staples. And I was looking it up, like Leon Slater could be gone by the end of this year. So
he's another guy.
That's another one. That's one of the only guys or wrestlers I can remember being at TNA. And granted, I haven't been watching it lately, regardless so, but still, like it's hard to watch at this point because they're gutting everything out. It's sort of like NXT, where Shawn Michaels has been cooking, but he's been cooking with less talent. That just goes to show how much of a good booker he is. With TNA, they had a lot of this talent, but they weren't booking that well. So how they got this TV deal is beyond me at this point. If they're going to be going downhill at the end of this year, within the first year of getting the TV contract, that's sort of saying a lot in terms of not only the booking and the creative backstage, the amount of talent that has been leaving the promotion. The viewership totals have been declining probably ever since they got the TV deal. And just a lot of these things are capitalizing and piling up at this point. So.
Yeah, that's kind of how it feels. And I just think, unfortunately, like, this is great for OVW. But I just don't understand why TNA needs the developmental system. If there's a company that needs that, it's AEW.
Well, I mean, AEW sort of has a developmental system everywhere because they allow their talent to work D&Ds every weekend or whatever. So, like,
That's
plus they have CMLL, they have New Japan, they have a lot of
cool contracts and stuff.
They pick a lot of talent out of a lot of different places or whatever. So I wouldn't necessarily say AEW would benefit from working with OVW.
Well, yeah, I'm saying, but they just need to have their own NXT. And I think that's something that you and I have been saying for years that Ring of Honor.
They should have never got rid of fucking
their
AEW Dark. They should have never got rid of AEW Dark.
I will never understand that.
Because that was sort of like their NXT. They would tape it or their main event or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, let's move on now to our second TV or We Are Wrestling Weekly News and Rumors topic. Dax Hardwood addressed FTR's absence from AEW since Double or Nothing. Dax said this: "For the first time in 12 years, we've decided to step away and take some time for ourselves and for our family. I'm not sure when we'll be back, what we're going to do, how much longer we have, or if we even need to prove anything at all anymore. What do you think is next for FTR?"
There's a lot of rumors going around on like fucking X and shit like that FTR, that's pretty much them saying that they're done with AEW and they're going back to WWE. I don't think that's the case. They did not appreciate their time in WWE. I don't think they get you. I mean, bro, like you release the Motor City Machine Guns. You didn't really put any stock behind them to get them over. Like, are you really gonna do anything with FTR at this point? You know what I mean? Like, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, these are the dudes that got spot on while they're shaving each other's backs." You know what I mean? Like, I don't see WWE.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and ironically enough, it was
They've
the
done a
fucking
good job at
Usos.
making you forget about that.
It was the fucking Usos that were watching them. So, like, I don't know. I don't have any faith, especially when it's a tag team. I have no faith in WWE, so I don't see them come. If they're legitimately going to be taking some time away, then they're either one going to be working part time AEW or they're just done completely.
I think they're just gonna take a little break. They're beat up. They're worn out. They're gonna come back to AEW by the end of the year.
I think so too. I think in terms of what they're going to do next, they're going to stay with AEW. Dax Harwood and his contract, for example, it runs through at least 2027 with AEW, so they're not going to be leaving anytime soon. Would I like for them to go to WWE? Possibly, because they could help out with the tag team division, but at the same time, they just be bodies, essentially. They would be like the Rusev of tag teams, just a mid-card body at this point. That could change, but still, you guys know what I mean. And I was looking at their time in the WWE as the Revival. They did not hold the tag team champion titles for more than 55 days in the entire time they've been in the main roster.
What a joke.
With NXT, they were the tag team champions for 164 and 162 days. But
yeah, that was
first
Triple H booking or whatever. But
Black and Gold.
Yeah.
What a time.
The AEW World Tag Team Champion, they hold it for the first time in AEW for 63 days, which is even more than they've ever held the WWE Tag Team titles. So they have something going for them in AEW. So I doubt they're going to leave it.
And plus, like, AEW treats their tag teams way better, at least in the men's division, than the WWE.
And they're actually a tag team, not just singles wrestlers being paired together.
And the thing I will say about this is Tony Khan tends to overpay a lot of his talent. Like, even a lot of the mid-card guys, they make in the six-figure range. They won't make that kind of money going to WWE. So, either, stay where you've been getting booked really well, really strong, making a very, very beautiful living for yourself, or go back to WWE to where, you could get booked good for, 3 months and then end up being released by next WrestleMania.
That is true, but we'll have to keep you guys updated with what's going on with FTR. As of right now, it just seems like they're taking a break from wrestling, which, hey, they absolutely deserve it. They've been going hard for the last couple of years, so hopefully everything works out at the end for them. But I think it's time we get into our Night of Champion predictions. What do you say?
Let's get into it, man.
Time for the main event. It's time for the We Are Wrestling main event, which, of course, WWE will be having a PLE. There's going to be a lot of PLEs and pay-per-views going on throughout the entire weekend, but this Saturday afternoon in Saudi, WWE Night of Champions is taking place, and of course, we're going to give our predictions, and believe it or not, we have 6 matches on this card. I can't believe it!
Which means one of them is probably going to be a squash.
But I do also want to plug that there is going to be a couple prediction videos for TNA Slammiversary and AEW Forbidden Door that will be coming out to the channel before the pay-per-views take place, which I believe those shows will be on Sunday. But as of right now on the We Are Wrestling channel, there will not be a watch-along for Forbidden Door because I'm going to be out in Boston for Slammiversary. Which shout out to TNA for that. But if this is your first time listening to the We Are Wrestling Pod and you don't know how our predictions go, here's how it goes. We talk about the buildups leading to the PLE. We like to go in depth talking about the storylines, the buildup, and of course, pick a winner and maybe do a little bit of fantasy booking after each match. We like to really go in depth with these predictions. So if this is your first time, we're not just going to say, oh, we got this person winning next. Not happening. Not here on We Are Wrestling. We do our homework. We do our studies. So here we go. Let's talk about the build-up for Night of Champions. The last PLE was Clash in Italy. What's your thoughts been so far with this build-up?
Well, the good thing about Night of Champions and this PLE in particular is there really hasn't really been much of a build-up. It's just been all about qualifying matches for the King and Queen's ring and really nothing else. You know what I mean? So the one match on this card that I really feel like has like somewhat of a story to it is the Breaker and Rollins one. So, you know, it should be relatively quick to get through this the predictions.
This should be one of our quicker ones.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some build up, but a lot of it has been like shenanigans based, especially with the undisputed title. But in terms of like the build up in general, I didn't nailed it on the head. The King of the Ring tournament, Queen of the Ring tournament. Other than that, a lot of big names fighting for their championships, trying to retain it. That's about it.
I don't really care for it. I used to like Night of Champions when like literally every championship would be on the line in one night. But of course, you know, they got to get their commercials and their ads in, which is why the card's cut down. I'm shocked that it's 6. Like, I'll give them credit for that, but that means more commercials.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the heavyweight championship not on the line?
The world heavyweight title is not on the line.
No, Roman's not on the show. No.
So the one person that Saudi Arabia loves to see and have is not even defending his title.
Nope.
They automatically get a C+ grade from me. I don't care how great the matches are.
Yeah, not even Jacob Fatu's involved. I think the only person in the bloodline that's involved is Jey Uso on this card.
Unfortunately,
I was just about to say. All right, well, with that being said, let's get into the matches because I think we all agree that the build-up for this has just been meh. Just like pro wrestling.
It hasn't been terrible, but it could have been a lot better.
It was terrible.
There's just something about this time of year that just, you know, it's almost like fucking like December and January to where like, you know, they pretty much stop trying until they get, you know, closer to the build up for SummerSlam. And then, you know,
but here's the thing that like fascinates me about this is the matches that we're not getting on this card. I'm more interested in the stuff that's happening on Raw and like with Danhausen than I am with any of these matches, if I'm just being honest.
This motherfucker's just cursing and electrocuting people, man.
And it's more entertaining than freaking Jay winning the fucking tournament. Am I wrong?
No.
All right, well, let's get into the card. We'll start off with the Queen of the Ring finals. Liv Morgan, who shouldn't even be in the tournament, versus Io Sky.
I mean, it's going to be a good match.
Isn't the whole point of this match supposed to be the winner goes for the world championship? So why the fuck is Liv Morgan here?
Part of me feels like this is a way for them to have Stephanie McCare come back. I do believe she's going to end up costing Liv Morgan the match, whatever. But even then, like, when Io wins, it's not like she's gonna, you know, go after, you know, her best friend Rhea Ripley. She's gonna go after Liv Morgan. So again,
so it's gonna happen at SummerSlam. So we're basically getting a part 2 of this.
Essentially, yeah. I do believe that Liv Morgan is gonna end up dropping the title to Io Sky. I just have a feeling. It'd make more sense if this was not a Queen of the Ring match and it was just a title match. And you could have Stephanie McCare screw Liv Morgan out of the title. Io Sky wins, and then Liv Morgan versus Stephanie McCare happens at SummerSlam. That would have made so much more sense.
Honestly, this is like what I was saying before in terms of like people getting injured, so they had to swerve. This is one of them because if Stephanie Vacquier wasn't injured and if she wasn't champion, she would have been this in tournament hands down.
The funny
But
thing
this
about
match-
that is, I heard a couple weeks ago that she's not injured, but WWE's been having some visa issues, which is why she hasn't been put on TV recently.
That makes sense. So, hopefully, they don't have issues with Saturday. But in terms of like storyline, this match has actually a lot of potential because you can go about it in a few ways. You guys kind of touched based on it. Stephanie Vacquier can show up, cost Liv the match, and have Io Sky win. Fantasy booking and maybe the long-term plan is have one or two of Roxanne and Raquel spoil Liv Morgan the victory, have Io Sky win. And then we find out at SummerSlam if the visa thing is true and she wasn't able to make it, we can save Stephanie Vacquier for SummerSlam and realize, like, find out, like, oh, they've been working behind the scenes with Stephanie Vacquier and she shows up with Raquel and Roxanne by her side at the SummerSlam match if this thing is being run back.
I was with you until you said that. Maybe SummerSlam we get a triple threat. Maybe it's going to be Liv defending the title against Io versus Stephanie. That could happen.
I actually now that you bring that up, I could definitely see Roxanne being involved because this past Monday there was a backstage segment before the main event, and Roxanne was upset that she didn't win her match or whatever. And Liv Morgan just totally brushed her off. Like, her problems do not fucking matter. She does not give a shit about, what's going on with you. Like, it's all about me. You know what I mean?
That's been going on for a few weeks now.
I have been feeling for a while since Finn Balor got kicked out of the Judgment Day. I have been we've been seeing little hints, little Easter eggs. Mm-hmm. I do think that we're getting very close to Roxanne just laying Liv the fuck out.
I will say this, though. I think the Roxanne thing, because we know how Triple H likes to cook really, 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 really slow. I think it's going to happen at SummerSlam. She's going to cost Liv the title at SummerSlam in some way.
It's like cooking fucking ribs to where they take fucking 7 hours to fucking cook on simmer in the fucking crock pot.
And then you either get them completely done and ready to go and they're delicious, or you just forget about them, they overcook, and they're basically non-eatable.
Yeah, I really don't care. I really don't care for this. Like, as soon as they made the announcement for this tournament for the Queen and they said Liv was in it, I was completely just out of it. I just didn't even care, didn't even watch, didn't even care, except for the segment that they did this past Monday on Raw. I don't get it. Like, the whole point of this tournament is the winner is supposed to go for the championship. So why the fuck is the champion in there? How do you not have a plan fucking B, C, D, E going all the way to freaking Z? How do you not have a plan for Liv?
Well, my personal opinion is
we don't have nothing here.
With the Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring, they should be shenanigans free. Like, you're supposed to win the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring because you are the best. But it just screams some sort of shenanigans is going to happen with Raquel or Roxanne or Roxanne. Stephanie Vacquier is more fantasy booking wise. I just want to see her back regardless, and hopefully she's not injured anymore if that's true. But I do think Liv Morgan made it to the finals. She still has the title. I think WWE has different plans for her. Like you said, maybe having Roxanne or them cost her a title at SummerSlam. So in this case, they keep it safe with Io Sky winning, and that way she can go after either Liv Morgan or her friend Rhea Ripley, because she's never lost against Rhea Ripley.
That is a good point. But now, who do we have officially winning the Queen of the Ring tournament? Who do we got?
I
gotta go with Io.
Yeah, it's obvious. Io Sky is gonna win. Probably go for Liv's championship, and I think like Judgment Day, like by accident, will screw Liv.
The only way, and I've heard that this could be a possibility. The only way I would have Liv Morgan win is if they want to run Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan back, you know, because that was like one of the best stories that either one of them had with each other. They want to do a title versus title match at SummerSlam, but again, that doesn't make any sense unless you're gonna merge the fucking titles. So
exactly, and I don't think they're gonna do that.
I don't think they're ever gonna do that with the women's titles, to be honest.
Yeah, but we all do agree Io's gonna win this.
Yeah, it's just all a matter of how. Does Stephanie get involved, or is it gonna be Roxanne? Attempting to help. But
that's what I think is gonna happen right there. That's exactly what's going to happen. She's going to try to help. All right, well, let's move on to the next match for the WWE United States Championship. Trick Williams will be defending his title against Ricky Saints.
It's going to be Trick Williams, man. He's my fucking guy, bro. Trick Williams is a fucking star. I don't know much about Lil Yachty, but I do think having Lil Yachty, and I think I mentioned this before on the podcast, like having Lil Yachty as sort of like Trick Williams' like mouthpiece, whatever, to play off of, like it fucking works, man. Like Lil Yachty, he has a lot of charisma. He's good at talking shit, but obviously, keeping it within the boundaries. Now I think he adds a lot to Trick Williams' overall character and his aura, as the kids like to say. So, Trick Williams is my fucking guy. I don't see him losing the U.S. title until it's going to be eventually him versus Carmelo Hayes.
So I don't see Trick Williams losing the title of two reasons. One is he's just, it's like that quote in Zoolander when Will Ferrell's like, he's so hot right now, and Mugatu, I think is. And also, I don't think Ricky Saints is a champion just yet. I think he still needs a little time to cook. But I am happy for him for be put on a PLE since he's being pushed into the main roster. Because if you guys don't remember, he was like the JV team. First became the varsity team that got put up in the main roster. Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Obafemi for fuck's sake, and then there was a little lull, and then Ricky Saints was being pushed up to the main roster, and they didn't have anything for him. So I think in terms of where he started and being on the PLE at this match, it's already a win for him. I think I hate to do the quote like, "Oh, he's young, he has so much time to develop" or whatever. He's just not there yet for me.
Mm-hmm.
But he
will
be
more time on the main roster.
Main roster, bro. He will be a main card champion, I believe.
Ricky Saints has so much aura in AEW, and I have, especially like towards like the tail end before he left. Like I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm not the only person. Thank you. Wow, I thought it was just me, because I've been trying to get invested in Ricky Saints since debuting in WWE, and I feel like I just can't. For some reason,
it's almost like the WWE audience. They're like, they don't know who the fucking guy is. Like they've never watched an AEW show on them ever. So he's like some guy that they found at a fucking bingo hall that they were like, yeah, you're a kid, you want a contract? They apparently didn't see his program with MJF.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know what it is. That'd be cool. With Ricky. I don't know what it is exactly with him, but it's I think he feels the pressure.
The total opposite compared to Ethan Page.
Yeah, so I was gonna say it feels like he's pressured, and he's making these easy mistakes that if you weren't going 1,000 miles per hour, you wouldn't be making those mistakes.
Well, the thing is, in AEW, you're allowed a lot more freedom than you were in WWE. So in AEW, he was essentially able to be himself a little bit more.
You see, and that's the problem. I don't think WWE has let him do that yet. And I think what they should have done, they should have had him under Cody's wing because they have that relationship for a couple months. And then you should have had Ricky turn on Cody. That would have been a good way for the audience to get to know who Ricky is. And I think that was the problem with his main roster call-up.
What I was saying before, that brings me back to they had no plans for Ricky Saints once he brought him up to the main roster. His first day, he went up against Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion, the most prestigious title in the company.
I
day one.
I actually marked out because I thought that was going to lead to something. And that it's almost like they call these guys up for NXT, because they have like, we have a certain amount of guys we have to call up, after the budget cuts and after WrestleMania, you know what I mean? Like we need to make our quota. And that's essentially what it is.
Need to call people up when they're ready.
It's like Donnie, like they call it Black Monday, like the Monday after the regular season ends in the NFL, and then all these head coaches get fired.
Yeah,
it's sort of like with WWE after WrestleMania. Every single year they have these WWE releases. They have new people sign up to the main roster. They, just a lot of turnover that goes on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I agree. And I just think that with Ricky Saints, I'm happy that he's getting a PLE match. But because I've been a big fan of Ricky Starks, but I just really am not invested here. Like, I just want to get into Trick versus Mello at this point. I think we all do.
Yeah.
That's why nobody's invested here. None of the casuals care for Ricky. They haven't given us a reason to
Trick
care.
Trick and Carmelo have a built-in story, man. Like Trick Williams was almost like Carmelo Hayes' bodyguard in NXT. Like they were friends. They were a tag team. Like, Trick Williams would essentially like watch over him. And then they had that feud leading into Stand and Deliver during WrestleMania 40 weekend. That was in Philadelphia. They had the main event for the NXT title was Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. And that sort of like sent Trick Williams on this trajectory to where he is now. So like there's already a built-in story. So
Tyrus,
Tyrus
in the live chat makes a pretty good point here. It's like ex-AEW guys are in purgatory booking.
You can't really say that.
Yeah, exactly.
You got CM Punk. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. He would not be in WWE right now if it was not for AEW. So you have CM Punk, who had probably the best WrestleMania match in the last couple of years. You have Penta, who's doing phenomenal work. You have Ethan Page that's doing phenomenal work. I love what he's doing. Like, you have a select guys, that are not being booked to where they need to be. But like, you can't say all ex-AW guys.
Yeah, you can't say everybody
in purgatory.
Yeah, I agree with you, Danny, on that. But who do we have winning this match?
Trick Williams, baby.
Yeah,
whoop that Trick.
And still, I got obviously Trick Williams. Like, it doesn't make sense for Ricky to win it. I'll be shocked, but that ain't happening. Let's move on to the next match here on the card. We have a steel cage match. Seth friggin' Rollins versus Braun Breaker.
This is the one match I'm looking forward to, bro. Like,
I'm not. We're not gonna get color.
Braun Breaker in a fucking cage, bro. Are you kidding me? Like, this honestly can't miss. Like,
better. It's gonna miss because we're not gonna get color.
You never know.
I hope Braun Breaker freaking tries to run and hit
ESPN.
Rollins with the freaking spear going 200 miles per hour, and then Rollins moves and then he bashes his head into the cage and he starts bleeding.
The two matches that are going to be on ESPN are the Queen of the Ring and the King of the Ring. So we're going to be getting the Liv match and the Oba match, essentially like opening the show. But I mean, you never know, man. Like, we had that Hell in a Cell match. I know this is completely different or whatever. I don't know what the derms.
Oh, you better not be comparing CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre to this.
I'm just saying, nobody.
You better not.
Nobody.
There's levels to this shit, Danny. Come on.
Nobody.
What the fuck?
Nobody thought we were gonna get color in that match, but we did.
Yeah, because freaking McIntyre was coming for Punk and his freaking family. Breaker and Rollins, they're just having a freaking dick measuring contest on who should be the fucking leader of the fucking vision.
And if we're gonna go off of like how much color is being represented, I want to say that Mask versus Mask on AAA, there was more blood in that particular match than WWE has had all year. So I don't think we need to bank on the amount of color, or even if there is going to be color.
This is not fucking AEW, bro. You're not going to see people going after each other with fucking
no, that's regardless of the fact, though. WWE's been safe the last 2 years, regardless of what AEW is
this feud,
doing.
Rollins and Breaker, they hate each other. So I want to see some color. I want to see some violence.
And do not forget, Paul Heyman saying that Braun Breaker is gonna go after Seth Rollins' wife and his child is going to be taken by the Child Protective Services because he is not a father. So technically, the family was brought up into this, bro. So this is somewhat of a blood feud right now.
So there better be fucking blood. We can all
Donnie,
agree on that, right?
I'm gonna take this
Yes.
microphone and just set it down. I'm not gonna drop it because Danny didn't do it either, so I'm not gonna drop it. So just gonna set that back there.
So I'm hoping like we get something here. I just don't want your typical spear,
Part of me feels.
curve stomp.
You want to hear my
line
two
the
thoughts?
cage.
You wanna
Wait,
hear my
how'd that
two
go
thoughts?
down?
Part of me feels like this is where Bronson Reed returns. That dude is in phenomenal shape, man.
I could see that happening. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Bronson Reed is in phenomenal shape, bro.
He looks good.
So is CM Punk.
He looks like he's in enough shape to be able to climb a cage, if you know what I mean.
Tsunami!
If you ask me, the whole aura behind a steel cage match has just been gone because there's
Oh my god,
always been-
bro! I just thought of that. Oh no,
there's
Bro.
so much. Oh, you keep people in, you keep people out. People get in and get out all the time.
If Bronson Reed returns, tries to do a tsunami off the top of the cage and he gets injured again. Oh my god!
Why would
So
the hell
maybe we
would you
shouldn't. Maybe
manifest
we
that?
shouldn't have him come back.
Why
Maybe
the
not
fuck
as
not
a
gonna-
champion.
I'm not gonna would.
Save
You
him
are
for
not in the
Raw.
fucking forest.
I don't have a force. I don't have a force next to me, you fucking asshole. I don't live in the
You need
woods.
more wood.
I don't know, dude.
Oh.
I just with Breaker and Rollins. I don't know about
about
you
this guy?
guys, but I'm really fatigued of this feud. I don't know.
I am too. I
Why-
hope
that's-
something happens.
I want something
I
to
have-
happen. Get me
that's why I have
excited.
Braun
Get me
Breaker winning.
invested.
There's no reason
got
for Braun
Breaker?
Breaker to lose this match. There's no reason.
It's, bro,
It's tough.
this goes back to like, you know, my issues with the King of the Ring tournament. This was tailor made for Seth Rollins to win and then go on to SummerSlam and have one of the main events be Seth Rollins versus
Yeah.
Roman Reigns. But again, you know,
Yeah.
WWE doesn't like to have any fun. So
Yeah, like that would have been a lot better than this.
again, there would have
Better than
been
fucking
a
Jey
tailor-made
Uso.
story. Yeah. Nobody gives a fuck about Jey Uso.
Well, the
Nobody
kids
wants
do.
bro, nobody wants to
Hey,
see Jey Uso.
Daddy, your kids give a fuck about him.
Bro, my kids don't like wrestling. Nobody wants to see one of the main events at SummerSlam be Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
Well, Rage does.
He was probably drunk.
he was the one that really wanted this push for Jey Uso, and now he's been regretting it ever since.
I think he was kind of just trolling us.
I
behind the scenes.
remember.
No,
I
he
remember.
wasn't. He was being
Bro,
mysterious.
I remember
He
years
called
ago.
that all this was gonna happen. He called.
I
it.
remember years ago when I used to fucking hype up Jimmy Uso, being
Doesn't
like,
mean he
he's
wanted
better than Jay, and you and Ben used to fucking ridicule me.
Yeah, until they shoved them down her throats without her consent.
Without our consent, what did he do? Fucking violate you?
That's what it feels like with Jey Uso. They're trying to shove that yeet shit.
And it was worse on Monday. Fucking
I'm so out of it.
Femi was
Fuck.
like, "You better not pull that shit with me." And then he just fucking stares there and watches Jay run it back.
Yeah, then he goes, "We the what?" Oh shit! But I don't know. Like when it comes to this whole match here with Breaker and Rollins, I just want something exciting to happen, something for me to give a fuck about. But who do you got winning this, Daddy?
I gotta go with Rollins, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm leaning
intuition.
towards Rollins. Like I want Breaker to win. Breaker should win, but it's
But then
gonna be
again,
Rollins.
like,
Well,
would it if they do have Bronson Reed return and Rollins still wins, I feel like that would take a lot out of his return as well. So this match I'm very conflicted on because Seth Rollins cost Breaker and Theory the tag titles on Monday. So that automatically in my mind is like, oh,
Breaker should win. Yeah.
But I also feel like the last time Breaker and Rollins faced each other, Breaker
Backlash,
won.
Breaker won. Yeah.
So like I'm so fucking confused, bro, to be honest with you.
I'm just gonna say Rollins because WWE hates us.
I think there's more long-term planning than just this match. I'm gonna go with Braun Breaker, but that's because regardless if Bronson Reed comes back or not, I want Bronson Reed to come back because that faction is desperately needing him at this point. But they just took the titles off of
Get rid of
Fury
Division.
and Breaker.
The only way I'd be okay with it is if Rollins wins, but at the end of the match, that's when Bronson Reed shows up and they fucking absolutely obliterate fucking Seth Rollins. That's
the only way I'd be okay with it.
That way, you know, he doesn't return to try and help Breaker, but fucking Breaker still loses because that would just fucking be a waste.
Agree.
Well, what if Bronson Reed returns and Breaker wins?
But I just feel like regardless though, like I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but like I feel like this is just a lose-lose for both guys, regardless if they win or lose, because it's like, where do we go from here with Rollins? Where do we go from here with Breaker?
I think Rollins needs to lose because they're going to be putting him back on the main card scene pretty soon.
I almost feel like Breaker should be put on should like go over to SmackDown or whatever.
Get away from the division.
Have a feud with Cody. I would keep Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman. I would get rid of Theory and Logan Paul. I would keep Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman with Breaker because I just feel like they complement each other really well.
I think they're going to do something with Braun Breaker and Obafemi because if you guys didn't see at the end of Monday Night Raw, the taping, they had a little standoff at the end and just stare at each other in the middle of the ring. So I think
do you see the fucking dark match that they had on SmackDown before they taped SmackDown? It was Obafemi and Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker and somebody else. I think it might have been Theory, but I can't remember.
So they need to, after the King of the Ring tournament, occupy Obafemi's time before he ultimately faces Roman Reigns, maybe by the end of this year or SummerSlam or sometime next year. But they need to do something with Obafemi because there's no chance that they squash Obafemi's aura at all. Because, hell, they showed at, I think it was either Italy's or Scotland's or whatever arena, when Obafemi came out, the light shined on him and he covered the entire audience with just his shadow. And if that ain't a metaphor of what he is for the WWE main roster since he's been on there, then I don't know what to tell you. So
it's very rare you get a guy his size it's very rare that you get a guy his size with the charisma, the marketability, the athleticism. The guy can fucking talk his ass off, sell a story, whatever, you know, whatever you need him to do, he can fucking do. He's everything that Vince McMahon wanted Omos to be.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
that is true. But I agree.
What they're going to do,
or Veer Mahan,
plan,
or Veer Mahan,
eventually
Blake Monroe,
Roman Reigns.
Blake Monroe,
Braun Breaker will be
coming soon.
Braun Breaker will be a favorable opponent to Obafemi.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next match we have here on the card for the WWE Women's United States Championship. Tiffany Stratton defending her title against Jade Cargill.
I don't care about the story. I don't care about the match. And I'll tell you one thing. I hate to say it, but I think
this match is going to be a disaster.
I think Jade Cargill is going to win, bro. Oh, my God. I can't.
That's my prediction.
I can't believe I just fucking said that.
I got both of you guys. Woo! Let's do it.
I'm gonna come to your house and throw your ass into your fucking television, you fucking asshole.
Hey, at least
sit the fuck down, you chode.
He still has the paper title.
Where's your belt, Danny? Huh? Where's your belt? Oh, it's behind Donnie. Oh, shut the fuck up.
It's really not an accomplishment, Dan, when you are the WWE Women's Champion and then you get downgraded to the United States title. That's not really a big accomplishment to celebrate.
So it's so funny how you guys both turn and go to Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill is ass.
This match is going to fucking suck.
guys. It's funny how you guys both go to Jade Cargill. Dang, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to talk.
No, I don't want to hear you fucking glaze this bitch.
And Jade Cargill, you guys don't let me finish. Let me finish. God.
I'm letting you.
I am going to say Tiffany Stratton's winning. Holy fuck.
I like this better. Usually, I don't like when people kick people out, but
No
in this
more
case,
glazing Jade Cargill on the stream, please. I can't take it.
You guys
No.
aren't even listening. I'm not picking Jade Cargill to win. That was the joke.
Well, the
I'm
joke
saying
is
Tiffany Stratton's winning. I'm not glazing.
Well,
The joke-
WWE hates us, so
the
we
joke's
already
gonna be
know
on
who
all of us when Jade Cargill wins because they have a weird fetish for Jade
Thank
Cargill
you,
that
Angelo.
I will never
I
understand.
just said Tiffany Stratton's winning. I am not glazing Jade Cargill this time.
Oh, you
I'm
fucking
saying Tiffany Stratton's winning.
So, all right, so why do you think Tiffany's gonna?
Holy fuck.
bro, you would buy fucking Jade Cargill's used fucking underwear. You know you fucking would, you fucking ass.
What's the price?
Exactly, you fucking chode.
What I was trying to say, guys.
For
if
ring
you
worn
guys would-
socks. This guy's gonna wear them on his head next week.
Maybe not socks. I don't know.
My headphones aren't working.
You guys, yes, I'm part of the Jade Cargill fan club.
Oh
Yes.
shit!
First of all, I like
Okay,
Roxanne better.
fixed them.
But second of all, I'm not picking Jade Cargill to win. That was trying to be my punchline, but you guys are cutting me off.
Well, my
I'm not
punchline is Jade Cargill is gonna win because Triple H has a weird ass fetish for chicks with muscles. Which doesn't really explain much about fucking Jordan Grace, because where the fuck is she? She's too busy fucking. She's too busy fighting with her trash can.
You know what I'm surprised about, Daddy? TKO at WWE, they love to like auction things off. I'm surprised they're not auctioning off Jade Cargill's wig.
Yo, the wig that she almost lost
The
when she
wig,
got
dude?
super
You're going with the wig?
Bro. That shit was crazy, man. That shit was,
That shit, I'm sorry, that was fucking hilarious.
that shit was flapping in the wind, bro. It's like a weird ass toupee.
It was pretty funny, but she saved it. It was barely off.
I'm surprised TKO has an auction in it or Fanatics.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they
Put
love
it
to
in a
make
trick
money.
card. Oh my god. I really don't get the obsession you have for Jade, but
I don't know, but I feel like that
Tiffany
whole
ain't
segment, that whole segment needs to get clipped and posted on social media.
I will
First of
say
all, she's second compared to Roxanne Perez. And if I was going to point out what I was teasing earlier in the podcast,
second to
before
Roxanne,
Danny Huckins shows
they
up-
shouldn't even be in the same sentence, those two.
All right, I just want to talk. All right, cool.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
All
I'll
right.
stay quiet.
What I was trying to say was the person that I was teasing earlier in the segment when me and Donnie were just here was I was teasing that Roxanne Perez was going to get a push in that last match. What I'm saying with Jade Cargill is, yeah, I glaze over her, but that's because I think she can be a great wrestler. I know you guys don't necessarily agree with that. She's been getting better, yes. What I'm trying to say is, even in the glazing category, she's second compared to Roxanne Perez. And Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton has been a feud all of last year. Like how I mentioned earlier, Donnie, was they kept running this feud down our necks all damn year. Like what WWE's been doing is repeating the same shit. Bloodline 2.0, for example. With this match, Tiffany Stratton, third time's a charm, maybe, will beat Jade Cargill and actually maybe have a better title reign compared to Jade Cargill having the U.S. Championship. Maybe they see what you see, Donnie, is they need to have Jade Cargill develop better, but they're not going to put her in the Performance Center. They need to put her up against a different title.
Look, and you see, that's where I kind of want to tag myself in because, look, I think the narrative gets pushed around. Like, yes, I do have fun shitting on Jade Cargill. It is fun. It is something I enjoy doing. But you see, I also get frustrated and mad about Jade because she does have that potential. That's why when WWE signed her, I thought that this was a perfect move.
You and Ben fucking glazed this shit, bro.
Yes, because they have a performance center. She could actually learn how to wrestle. She could actually develop. But WWE decided, let's just not put a life jacket on her, even though with most of the fucking
You want to know why?
they put a life jacket on her.
because they had her ass all over fucking ESPN and Today Show and all that bullshit, fucking ESPN, all that shit before she even fucking debuted on television.
Well, before she was even ready. That's what I'm trying to say. She should have went to NXT first. And I even said it when she got up to the main roster. She should have went after the United States title before the WWE Women's Championship. A lot of the times, those titles, the Intercontinental United States Championship, are made for talent to make or break. And if they make that championship prestigious, they deserve a promotion, which means they go from being the mid-card into the main event picture. And I think Jade Cargill should have been focused. They should have focused her with that United States title first. And I think that it would have done her wonders.
Do you know what I kind of want WWE to do? I highly doubt they're ever going to. And I don't know if this individual would want to, work a program like that. But there is one built-in story that I'd kind of be intrigued to see Jade Cargill in, and that's with Brandy Rhodes, because they had quite the altercation in AEW. But they never went after it. It was just sort of like a high and by situation.
The reason why I didn't go for, they were supposed
I thought
to
you were talking about Mandy Rose. I'm like, she's doing more.
Brandy.
But
yeah, I heard it.
But no, what do you call it? The reason that didn't happen, Danny, because it was supposed to be a big feud for AEW, but the reason it didn't happen was because Brandy was pregnant.
Well, exactly. She's not pregnant now.
But then Brandy basically had Red Velvet fill in for her, and then it was a disaster. Jade's first match ever.
Yeah, I would still like to see something like that happen.
I just think there's nothing there, to be honest.
Yeah, there's nothing there for Brandy and WWE. I wouldn't want Brandy back in a ring.
I don't know. I almost feel like Jade Cargill should just fucking give up WWE and just. We all know she's only in it. I
don't think so.
No, we all know she's only in it to get into Hollywood. You know what I mean? She's got the look, she's got the potential. So why not?
That's another discussion for another day. But getting back into the match talking about here in our Night of Champions predictions, who do we got? Tiffany or Jade?
Jade.
I'm going Tiffany.
I'm hoping Tiffany wins, but my gut is telling me that it's going to be Jade Cargill. And I think that they're going to try to rewrite the wrong that they did booking her WWE championship run. And I think that they realized that she wasn't ready to be champion. So they're going to give her a shot with the mid-card belt to see what she could do. And that's not me trolling. That's not me joking at all.
No,
maybe this will be a step in the right direction, maybe. But we need to see some improvements with her. Rhea made her look great. So I'm hoping that she takes some of that into this match with Tiffany and they put on a good one. But I don't know.
And that's you can go into this match with that same thought, because they fucked up Tiffany Stratton's title reigns, both of them.
They did.
So this could be a new start for Tiffany Stratton as well.
Bro, all I'm gonna say is, and you guys got to look at this too. I mean, Charlotte Flair couldn't even fucking bring Jade Cargill into a good match. What makes you think Tiffany Stratton's gonna be able to do it?
Well, you see, that's kind of where I was getting at, where I'm very nervous about this match, because Rhea is one of the best that WWE has, which is why those matches with Jade were so good, because Rhea brings that intensity every night. Even when Jade in the first half of that match at Clash in Italy was a little slow, Rhea had the pace throughout that entire match and carried it. Jade picked up her slack in the second half of that match. If you are watching it spot for spot and really analyzing it, which I do with Jade Cargill matches, because I do see potential there. I just really want her to improve in the ring.
Danny, and your argument is not really there when Charlotte and Jade Cargill have never had a singles match. It was the fatal four-way for the
what I'm saying is
Jade Cargill and Michin, and then Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley versus B-Fab, Jade Cargill, and Michin.
And they haven't had a proper feud or a singles match yet.
They've had a few stare downs. They had a promo or look at each other.
What I meant to say was Charlotte Flair couldn't even bring Tiffany Stratton into having a good match.
Oh, he's talking about the WrestleMania match that took place with Tiffany.
So if Charlotte Flair couldn't bring Tiffany Stratton into having a somewhat of a decent match, I have zero faith that fucking Jade Cargill
But
of all people are gonna be able to
it's
fucking
not
do it.
Tiffany Stratton. It's not Charlotte Flair trying to get Tiffany Stratton to have a good match. It's Tiffany Stratton trying to get Jade Cargill to have a good match. That's why Donnie was saying, and I was saying that
The pressure is going to be on
both of them.
Tiffany, and I don't know if she's gonna. I don't know if she's gonna fold under pressure or if
She's
gonna
lost so
become
much
diamond.
fucking aura, bro. I don't know what happened. She was so over for a while. She's like LA Knight of the women's division.
Well, let's see what we have here in the live chat. Let's see. Tyrus. Jade is a filler. If she had potential, she would have been trained props. Shoved her in.
How dare you put
Pretty
Jade and
much.
Filler in the same sentence? How dare
Jade
you?
or Tiffany, either way, they ain't doing anything anyways. Well, at least they are getting a PLE match. So that's something, I guess, for them. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But let's move on to the next match here on the card.
For her, but
We have a triple threat match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes will be defending the title against Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
If
The last real good guy.
If WWE really wanted to fuck things up and shape things up and throw a wrench in the system, they would have Sami
Don't you dare
Zayn
say
walk
it.
out as
Don't
the
you goddamn
WWE champion. Bro, Sami Zayn, regardless if you want to believe it or not, Sami Zayn and what's going on with him is the most appealing thing on SmackDown. Nothing else on that show is fucking worth watching at all.
Agree.
So if WWE really wanted to throw a wrench in the system, bro, they give Sami Zayn the title, and then you can run Sami Zayn versus Gunther at SummerSlam for the WWE title.
You can't. Jey Uso's going to win.
What
Okay,
if
so
what if Jey Uso doesn't go after the WWE title and he goes after Roman?
I'm just going to keep this short and sweet. This whole career killer thing was just a waste of time because Gunther's not going to win the championship. Sami, I already said it last week. It's literally a game board. Like Sami Zayn goes a couple spaces, but then he lands on a space where he has to grab a card. The card's going to say, go back 5 spaces. And this is exactly what happens with Sami Zayn every time. And this is why I am your predictions champion, because I know what's going to happen. It's
Angela, bro, I will tell you
Cody
this.
Rhodes who retains the championship.
I will tell you this. I do think Cody Rhodes wins, but if WWE really wanted to shake things up, they would have Sami Zayn win, especially in Saudi Arabia. Like, he's fucking over as shit over there. He's almost like the fucking Roman Reigns of those people. But I mean, I would much rather, to Angela's point, I would much rather Jey versus Roman than Jey versus fucking Cody.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's going to be Jey and Cody.
Unfortunately.
For the kids!
So I'm gonna go Sammy, man. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna hit, and I hope I hit a home run.
Well, you're gonna get struck out. That's why you're not champion, and I am.
No, fuck off.
What's your opinion and thoughts on this, Dan?
So I can go about this a lot of different ways. We haven't really mentioned, outside of Bronson Reed, the amount of talent, like people that were in the main card scene in the last year are like, so many people are out. We mentioned Bronson Reed. We mentioned Randy Orton. We've mentioned CM Punk. Or we haven't mentioned them, but there's all those 3. And also Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre's filming a movie. He won't be back until probably the beginning of winter.
Yeah, he won't be back until like the late fall. That's what.
I wasn't banking on Drew McIntyre particularly, but there could be somebody, for example, Randy Orton that shows up. WWE has been playing it safe these last. You can argue the last 2 years, but at least the last few PLEs, they're not big surprises. There's not, crazy swerves. The WrestleMania was better than the WrestleMania last year. Let's not, say what I'm not saying, or read what I'm not saying. But as far as this match particularly goes, there's a storyline for all 3 of them. You can have Gunther win the title and have
Sami and Cody.
come back, Sami and Cody fight over it and have a rematch at SummerSlam. You can have Cody win, but after the match, bring in Randy Orton and have that storyline go into SummerSlam, or CM Punk SummerSlam. You can have, a lot of these different directions you can go for this just particular match, and that's why I find it intriguing. But as far as who I'm going to pick to win, like I said, WWE has been playing it safe, so I'm just going to pick up Cody. I want Gunther to win, personally. I want Gunther to win because
I want Sammy to win.
I don't see a long-term plan with
Sammy should have won in Montreal when he faced Roman Reigns. Didn't end up happening. Yeah, he is almost like Drew McIntyre in a lot of ways, or LA Knight in a lot of ways, where they give him big opportunities, but they never capitalize on it. And like he's almost like a king over in Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? Because it's a part of his religion. It's like a part of his culture.
Like Kaiser in Mexico.
So like if they were ever gonna crown this guy champion, it's gonna be in Saudi Arabia. And I feel like if you really want to shake things up, this entire card, like WWE. My one thing about WWE is they play way too safe. If they really wanted to shake things up, have Sami Zayn win. I agree. If he wins, he does not need to have a long title run. We're not saying
that's what I said last week.
Not everybody that has a title needs to have a Roman Reigns like title reign. He can fucking drop it at SummerSlam for all I know. But
at least he got it.
If you really want to shake things up, have Sami Zayn. And we know Cody Rhodes is not opposed to dropping the title because he's done it multiple times over the last couple months. You know what I mean?
And SmackDown became interesting when Drew McIntyre won the championship over Cody during that time. And it made Cody believable. Like, we wanted Cody to get the belt back from Drew.
He's never been a main card champion either. So,
yeah, Sami deserves it. That's what I've been saying for the longest time. Like, at least before he hangs the boots up, I want to see him at least get one world championship. But there's two ways I would do this. We all know WWE's playing it safe. Cody's going to win. That's why I'm holding this. I already know. But two ways I would do this. Gunther wins the championship because Sami doesn't allow Cody to win this, which could lead into a blood feud with these two. Give us something new that doesn't involve a championship with both Sami and Cody, because it seems like everybody's getting sick of it. So Gunther winning the championship, that's going to be something that's out of left field. It's going to throw a lot of people off, but then it makes the whole career killer thing worth it. Scenario number two, Sami wins the championship, and then Cody can get his rematch at SummerSlam. Or you can get Jay involved and do something there with Jay and Sami, because there's that history. So, like, I just think every scenario, every avenue is better than Cody winning this. But we all know WWE is going to have Cody win it because they want the dude to be the champion at SummerSlam, which is fucking stupid. Whoop, whoop.
What I'm saying is there's going to be some sort of return between Randy Orton or CM Punk. Whether they help Cody win or lose, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Cody wins somewhat clean. Maybe it's somebody was trying to help Gunther or Sami Zayn win.
Realistically, Sami's going to be the guy to get.
So when Sami retains, they're going to show up after the match and start the SummerSlam feud with whether it's Randy Orton or CM Punk.
My thing is, when it comes to CM Punk, is if he shows up anywhere, it's gonna be to sort of like, and I don't see them doing this because WWE is not that fucking creative. If you had like maybe Jey Uso fucking gets taken out or whatever, and we need a replacement, so you put CM Punk, and that can lead to CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, because on the night after WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes and Punk had that promo, and Punk was like, you never know when a title opportunity is going to just fall out of the sky.
And I think we get a heel CM Punk when he comes back, too.
And apparently the dude is fucking shredded beyond
belief. I think he might, I hate to say this, but I agree with Danny now, and I'm thinking more of it. He could come in and help Cody lose the title, and Sami Zayn gets the pin.
That wouldn't make any sense, because if CM Punk were to, make Cody Rhodes lose the title, I mean, his last thing that he said to Cody Rhodes was, you never know when a title opportunity falls out of the sky. So I feel like if we do get Punk versus Cody, which is a match everybody wants, it's got to be for the WWE Championship. And if Cody does not have the championship, the match doesn't necessarily make much sense, does it?
Good point. But we're going to have to wait and see, because triple threat matches, there's so many avenues that they can go here. But I just think that realistically, they're just going to play it safe by
I'm going with the main event.
I'm going with Sami, bro.
It's the main event, so it's probably going to be like 30 minutes.
And like WWE, they typically don't like doing a lot of like massive surprises and Saudi Arabia shows, you know, from what I've seen. Outside of like obviously like the Royal Rumble, but even then they didn't have like biggest surprise was fucking Royce Keys, which
They had a couple of people return.
Yeah,
not much.
necessarily, but-
Like, you know, everybody was like, "Oh my god, Jericho's gonna show up."
You said that, idiot.
Yeah.
No, what I said was I heard there was a rumors, and I was waiting to see if it was gonna happen.
Oh
But
my
I'm not
God, Kevin
putting
Owens
it-
and Jericho took a selfie together. He's going to
Oh my
WWE
God.
confirmed.
Oh my God, Jericho's coming to WWE.
Why?
I remember I pop in
Because
that
and,
episode.
and the reason why I said that was because remember when Drew McIntyre took that picture with Jack Perry? WWE
Yeah.
instantly made him fucking delete it. You would think they would want the they would
but
want the
that was
same thing for
Jericho's
Kevin
picture.
Owens.
Yeah, but nah, they didn't care about it. But I do think that the triple threat match, we all know it's gonna happen. Hopefully you're right, Danny. I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too, man. Like throw a wrench in the system. shake
Anybody
things up.
but Cody. I'm
Make
okay
things
with.
exciting. And like
Anybody but
I
Jake.
know if Cody loses the title that he's 100% on board with it because he's for the betterment of the company, you know.
That is true. Let's see, Angelo here in the live chat. But that's the thing you're not focused on. But they are, and that's the world title. Because what would they do with Gunter? I don't know what they do with Gunter after this, if I'm being honest. But Tyrus here. Gunter losing will only prove that Trips wasted all of his wins over Cena, Goldberg, and AJ. Let Sammy laugh that Cody would lose and make Cody hunt again. That's what should happen.
I
But
think
we'll have
Cody
to
was
wait
more
and see.
interesting when he was hunting for the title.
He's
in
always a
terms
better
of-
hunter for the
Yeah,
title.
when if you keep the title, it opens the door for both CM Punk and Randy Orton, and they are big money needle movers when it comes to the company. So
I was always 100% against Gunther fucking retiring Cena and AJ and like all this bullshit. Like it all started with
And-
fucking Goldberg. Like I was
yeah.
even the whole Goldberg match. I was like, it's a bad idea. It's not, you know.
I
it's
just
not-
think
not
there's
great.
more. There's
How does he not go on like a dominant like title run?
as tiring as it is with Cody having the title. There's just so much to do with Cody having the title because of his ties and connection with people that are going after.
And
the
like
title.
if you do have Gunther win, like what do you do with him afterwards? I just
what I'm
feel
saying,
like
for
I
him
just
and
feel like
Sami
It's a lose-lose situation for Gunter.
I just feel like the most interesting part would be having Sammy win because I feel like there's a lot
the
there that
unpredictability.
you can do.
Yeah. I agree, and I'm just tired of this dude every time going for the fucking title and then loses, and then literally goes on the space on the game board, and then he goes back 5 spaces, and then watch in a month or two he's gonna beat Trick for the U.S. title because they have nothing for him.
Well, I mean that's not his fault. That's WWE creative. They do the
I
same
know,
thing
and
with LA Knight.
I'm not blaming Sammy. It is all WWE creative. You kidding me? Sammy's just doing what he can, and that's why I give him lots of credit as a talent. Because they really give this dude nothing good to work with, but he goes out there and he makes the best of it every time.
I mean, he was just beating up a fucking gingerbread man, and I was just saying that what Sami Zayn is doing on television right now is the best thing on SmackDown, which is like it's just horrible to say, you know, on a 3-hour show. Luckily, it goes back to 2 hours this week, but like, you know, Sami Zayn needs to win. You know, I'm sticking to my guns, man.
All right. Well, let's move on.
They don't know what to do with either Sammy or Gunther as champion. And what Sammy really needs is Kevin Owens back. Give him some ground.
Oh my God, I would love if Kevin Owens
That could maybe Kevin Owens is soon going to be returning. We're just not knowing. Kevin Owens is always, he's not like the one to go on fucking social media and like fucking talk to a lot of people. We don't know what his medical status is.
He did do a video on YouTube short saying he was announcing the taping schedule for January of next year, which is around his birthday, I think, and they are going to be in Canada. So potentially returning then. But
all right, well, moving on to our last match here in our Night of Champions predictions, the King of the Ring tournament, the finals. We have Obafemi versus Jey Uso, and the winner gets to choose whatever world title they want to go after.
See, I already forgot
wait, can I start this off? Because I got something that's going to be short and sweet, and then I'll let you guys both take it away and fantasy book and do all that fun shenanigans. I think what's going to happen, I know throughout this entire predictions, you guys have been mentioning returns. You guys have been mentioning a lot of these different scenarios. I don't think we get anything special with any of these 5 matches up until this match right here with Obafemi versus Jey Uso, because I do think Brock Lesnar is going to show up and he is going to cost Obafemi, because we're going to get that match at SummerSlam. Jey Uso is going to win, and we're going to be teasing a possible like heel turn officially with Jey, I think, going into this feud with Cody. That's all I'm going to say.
And like the Usos have sort of like they're obviously a part of the bloodline or whatever. But like I've also like looked at the fact that, you know, a few times when Roman Reigns was getting fucking beat the fuck up at the end of Raw or whatever, the Usos were not anywhere to be seen. They were in the building because we saw them do backstages earlier in the night, but they did not help Roman whatsoever. And he's supposed to be their tribal chief, you know, the guy that they fucking do all kinds of errands for or whatever, and like they fucking worship the ground that he walks on. So like, would it be that far-fetched? Because we still have a lot of time before, we still have over a month before SummerSlam. So there's a lot they can do, a lot of story that can be told. But what if Jey Uso does win this match, which we all think is going to happen, and like he doesn't make a decision right away. He doesn't know. Roman assumes that he's going to be choosing Cody. But what if in the end it ends up like being Roman versus Jey? I just feel like that'd be so much more interesting than a Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes match. And then that's still because CM Punk is going to be returning in Chicago in a couple weeks. Monday Night Raw is going to be having a show there. I do think CM Punk is going to be moving to SmackDown. But if Jey Uso ends up choosing Roman, that leaves room open for a CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes match at SummerSlam. So the 2 main events, you could have Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso.
I like it. What's your thoughts on this, Dan?
Well, I was always in favor of Brock Lesnar costing Obafemi the match. For some reason, and I want it to be true, I'm just still holding out for him. But say Brock Lesnar comes in here and tries to ruin Obafemi's chances to win. LA Knight could do the same thing for Jey Uso, and they could have Obafemi win the King of the Ring. And then by SummerSlam, Obafemi can choose Roman Reigns, and that can still bring about the whole Jimmy, LA Knight feud, Obafemi going up against Roman Reigns. And who knows, maybe Zilla Fatu shows up at SummerSlam. I'm fantasy booking for the future, but still. But I don't think Zilla Fatu is going to come in this match, but I think it's just they don't promise anything with WWE. Some things are just so fucking obvious. I want to hope for that double, interference with LA Knight and Brock Lesnar. But I think thinking it as WWE, I think you're right, Donnie. It's just Jay's going to win. I just hope that it's not in a way for Oba to lose, but lose all of his aura. I need a safe loss with Obafemi. Jay so can win. I'm coming to his terms that could actually happen, and I don't want Jay to win for the record.
They're not going to do Oba versus Brock at MSG. They're going to do it in Minnesota.
I would like to share an idea that I would have if they were to protect Obafemi while losing. I would have all these freaking bloodline guys come out throughout this entire match trying to help Jay, but then Obafemi is freaking destroying them, throwing Jimmy across the freaking announce table. Maybe Solo just walks in, just laughing, and then he freaking takes him and throws him across. I think they should get Oba should just destroy everybody, but then Brock Lesnar will get him at the end, and that's when Jay will hit him with the super kick and just steal the win.
Brock or Roman, to be honest.
Yeah, Roman too.
Oba cannot take a pinfall loss. I'll tell you what. If the referee gets knocked out, Brock Lesnar shows up and absolutely obliterates.
It has to be a brutal assault.
Obafemi, yes. We're talking F5 on the stage, a power bomb through the fucking announce table. It needs to fucking be insane. Yeah, You know, that's the only way I would like. It wouldn't be if Jay wins straight up. It wouldn't be believable because Obafemi's a fucking monster, bro.
And you see, that's the part I'm scared about going into this King of the Ring finals is that whatever they do, like they're not going to make it believable. And then Obafemi is going to lose so much aura. And that's the thing that scares me so much about it. Cause like, even like, I agree with Dan Eddie, man. Like I'm nervous as hell if Jey Uso is going to win, because what if like it doesn't come off like Obafemi really got like his ass handed to him? Like you have to make it fucking believable. You have to.
This is why I don't see the push for Jey Uso, because you can either see it as Jey Uso has all these people come in and help him win, or you can have Obafemi just squash him in less than 8 minutes. It just won't end up great for Jey Uso. That's why they put him in the King of the Ring tournament. That's why they are having him win, because even as World Heavyweight Champion, people didn't like him as main card champion because the dude can't fucking cut a promo without being out of breath. And he does his best promos with his brother. So in terms of like who wins and who doesn't, it's just, I don't personally care like who wins and who doesn't. I care about Obafemi's aura because that's what they've been protecting. That's what they've been building. That's what they've been showcasing.
Dude, it's the one thing that WWE has going for
came
them.
to the main roster, because take out the little call out for Roman Reigns during the post show when Obafemi had the mic. I think it was Backlash or at Clash or whatever. Take that kind of call out promo away from this whole thing. If Obafemi loses to Jey Uso, I want it to be in a safe way, because that guy is going to be the face of the franchise, the entire company for the next 10, 15 years.
And I think every wrestling fan, every WWE fan can agree with you on that 100%.
Yeah.
Another scenario that they could do too, Obafemi does beat Jey Uso, but then he wants that championship match at Saturday Night Main Event, and then Brock screws him at Madison Square Garden so that they don't have to fly him out to Saudi. Maybe Oba's impatient. Maybe Oba wants that title shot sooner.
Because at the beginning of this tournament, it was after Clash in Italy. At the beginning of the tournament, after Obafemi's first qualifying match, I think he called out Brock Lesnar and he called him a little bitch, and he's been throwing subtle shots, the last couple weeks or whatever. That's why I feel like this whole thing was tailor made for Brock Lesnar to get involved, screw Oba, leading to their match in Minnesota at SummerSlam.
Yeah, because also too, if Brock gets involved, basically the message would be sent to basically like Jay, like he wouldn't go out, like Brock don't go after Roman, like, I don't know. But who do we have winning this? Like our final answer.
Paul Heyman still owe Brock Lesnar a favor?
No, I think the favor thing was with Gunter and Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Oh,
but who do we have winning?
I gotta go with Jey Uso.
Yeah, I gotta go Jey.
Yep, typical WWE booking. It's gonna be Jey Uso, and everybody's gonna be pissed online.
Like
guess what? Nick Khan doesn't care about our opinion, ladies and gentlemen.
If Jey Uso wins, if Jey Uso wins again, that's not a foul ball. They can still hit a home run if they choose the route of Jey versus Roman instead of Jey versus
It's got to be Jey versus Roman. It's got to be, because one more thing I want to
Roman still has not apologized to the Usos for everything that he's put them through.
Yep, and Chad Gable has apologized to everybody. But one more thing I want to point out before we do close off this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Pod. If they do go the Jey and Roman route, what I would like to see happen personally, I think Jey should turn heel going into the build-up with Roman. And I think that, like, Jacob, I think Jimmy, they all should turn on Roman. And Jey comes in as, like, this new, like, tribal chief in a way.
But that's the thing, Donnie.
Imagine SummerSlam, like, we do, like, a twist where Solo, or maybe, no, scratch what I just said with Jimmy and Jacob getting involved. SummerSlam, imagine Solo Sikoa helps Jay win the championship.
So, that's where I can get behind you, because what you were describing before, they did the same thing exactly 3 years ago.
It's
Yeah,
almost
you're
like
right.
it's almost like
It's
all
got-
the
it's got-
ghosts.
it's gotta be
It's almost
empathy.
like all the
And
ghosts from
then-
Roman Reigns' past coming back to haunt him because of
Yeah.
all the horrible shit
All of
that
a
he's
sudden-
done to people that he considers family.
All of a sudden, Zilla Fatu or Jacob Fatu is the new tribal chief. Like, we've done this before.
But I do think Solo Sikoa, like turning on Roman, hitting him
I
with
do
the
kind
right
of feel like it was a little bit
Jay
too
winning.
easy to get Jacob Fatu to acknowledge Roman. And like, he didn't even hesitate. He got on his hands and knees and he was like, "You are my tribal chief."
2
I
days
just
after
feel
he got,
I don't know, man. I have a gut feeling like
I
if they
just feel
are
like
going to
that
go
was-
the Jay and Roman route, Jay Uso, I think they're all going to acknowledge him. Every single fucking member of the family is going to get back together because Jay Uso is the one trying to get keeping the family together.
Yep.
And Roman
Like-
will take a break.
Yeah, because Roman's gonna be going back to his part-time schedule like after the summer or whatever. So
And
I,
WWE, they're paying attention to all the hatred that Jay's getting online. I think they've already ran its course with the whole Yeet thing. And I think that they're going to try to set up that Hulk Hogan heel turn at SummerSlam. You're going to get freaking cinematic shots of kids bawling their fucking eyes out when Jay does this to Roman. All the members of the bloodline are going to be helping him. Jacob, because he, I think, is definitely...
because Roman Reigns is the 100% baby.
Jimmy will always have Jay's back more than anybody. And then Solo Sikoa, he's been wanting to get back at Roman for a long freaking time.
And Solo Sikoa's been showing up a lot more. And Jacob Fatu, what did Jacob Fatu say on Monday? Is like, I'll handle Solo. Yeah, I told him to come to the show.
I think we're getting a heel Jay Uso title run.
If you have Jay, think about it also this way. If you have Jay going after Cody, that means either one, Jay's going to be moving over to SmackDown away from the Bloodline, which wouldn't make any sense currently, or the Bloodline, again, is going to move from Monday Night Raw and go back over to SmackDown, which, again, they've done that for fucking 4 or 5 years. We don't need to see that anymore. I like that they're on Monday Night Raw. It's a change of scenery because Roman Reigns never liked working on Mondays. So I feel like if you have Jey Uso go after Roman, it makes sense. They're already on the same brand. And then, again, there's a lot of rumors that CM Punk is going to be showing up on Monday Night Raw and Chicago, but he's ultimately going to be moving over to SmackDown. Tailor-made for a feud between him and Cody, which is what everybody wants. We've been wanting to see that for the last couple of years. This can be such a fucking home run. Like, I don't even know how to like explain it any more than we already have.
Any final thoughts you got, Dan Eddie, on all of this?
I like where you guys are thinking, and I think the whole solo aspect of it can be very crucial to the Jay heel turn and reincarnation, I guess, if you will, of Jacob Fatu, to be honest, because he's been dead since he lost to Roman. My only concern is, where does Obafemi fit in with all this?
Obafemi can finish what he's doing with Brock Lesnar and then move on.
To who?
Championship.
Cody Rhodes. He can go after Roman. He can go after fucking Jay. He can want the WWE title. There's a lot that he can do.
After he beats Brock Lesnar, he's got to go after a Paul Heyman guy. You know who I think it should be?
Braun Breaker.
It needs to be either Braun Breaker or returning Bronson Reed.
Oh, bro, Bronson Reed versus Obafemi. That shit would
money.
cook.
That shit would cook, and I think that's the best way we should close.
That's
off
a
this
marquee
week's
match,
episode.
bro.
What do you say, boys?
I don't like that idea, but we can figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We're live every Thursday,
momentized.
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we appreciate you guys on this chaotic episode of the We Are Wrestling Podcast. If you're listening to this wherever you get your podcast, leave us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode and give us a follow. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac, get already over on the YouTube channel where you get the best pro wrestling content. We will be doing a live watch along this Saturday afternoon for WWE United Champions before the We Are Wrestling crew head out to the Blitzkrieg Luau in Springfield, Mass. Recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on those post notifications. I will also be doing a special exclusive predictions for Friday and Saturday for both TNA Slammiversary and AEW/New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. So if you guys want to listen to those, we'll have some content up on the channel. Links down in the description box below. You can follow all of us over on our social medias. Danny does live watch-alongs over on his channel with the weekly shows. You don't get that here on We Are Wrestling. Dan Eddie, he's soon going to be doing content when the football season begins, I believe. Am I right?
Follow me on Twitter. Yeah. Do you have my Twitter account?
I don't, so you got to send that to me. But we'll put it in the links when you do. Links down below. Also, I've been very active over on my basketball page, DBTV, and my toy page, Best One Donnie. So if you guys want to go check those out, especially with the NBA free agency starting up, go check those out. Links are down in the description box below. But of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.